You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. What it do, what it do, what it do. Good, great, grand morning to y'all wonderful, beautiful people. Brethren and sisters, hermanos, mi hermanas. Boys and girls, ladies and lads, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. 88888. We in the building, man. We in the building. Tell me how you feeling out there on this wonderful, what is it, Thursday morning? You know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So we got some things to talk about. You know, we're trying to bring back the morning show occasionally. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my brother Oscar Perez in the building. Let's hit this roll call, man. Good to see you, my brother. How you doing? Mi hermano Cardinal in the building. Welcome, 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 man. Welcome, welcome, man. Big member in the building too, man. Hope everything's good with you and your family and all that good stuff and bonbons, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everything's good with the Perez's. But yeah, so also so a couple little topics, man. Of course, we have what's flooding the boxing scene right now is you know, Tank versus Jake Paul. So of course we got to talk about it. I know a lot of people aren't really interested in it. I'm one of them. But you know, it is something that is going to be a big deal in boxing, you know what I'm saying, for better or for worse. And it's going to have some good fights on there too. You know, we have some championship fights on there. We have a unified title holder, which she should be undisputed, but Baumgartner going against Bedoin, and Baumgartner she just relinquished her belt, right, because the WBC wouldn't approve for 3-minute rounds. So she gave up her belt, but she still has 3 belts on there, you know, and so she's going to be defending her titles. And then we also have Gary Anton Russell at the 140-pound, was he WBA champion? He's going to be defending his title against Andy Hiroka, you know, the Ghanaian Japanese fighter. So there's a couple little things on the card that's something to look forward to, at least even from the boxing purist standpoint. So Ellie Scotney's on there as well. And so I'm looking forward to it. But the main event, Jake Paul versus Tank, that's not really, that's not what it is, if you ask me. But it is what it is, man. You gotta take the good with the bad. You gotta take the good with the bad. But there's some news regarding that, and that's with Shakur Stevenson, man. He has inserted himself in the fray, and I want to hear people's opinions on it, because we heard some opinions, some strong opinions from other folks when it came to Jaron Boots Ennis going in somebody else's camp, aka Cinnamon, and they people didn't like it. So I want to see if some of those, if the same energy is going to be kept. And me, I'm going to keep the same energy. So I think exactly how I feel about this. But I want to see if other people who are quick to crucify, quick to be condescending, and quick to denounce the actions of one person because they're not really fond of them. I want to know if they're going to keep the same energy with the person that they like. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we gonna see about it. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and start off with our prayer, man. So join me and bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for keeping us going, and growing in every aspect of our life, not just for our dreams that we're chasing or our job that we're working on, but just personally, spiritually, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally. Let us grow in a positive direction, Lord. And we thank you that that you gave us another day to see, another day to be thankful for, another day to experience, and hopefully we get better, better overall, in every aspect of our life. Like I said, to grow stronger, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally, and also spiritually, most importantly, to keep our connection strong with you. And Lord, just guide us in the right direction so we can overcome the world with goodness, as opposed to some of the evil and the bad that's been going around and circulating lately. It seems like it's like a epidemic of just evil. So we want to be good and be that beacon of hope and beacon of light that you put us down here to be. So we thank you, Lord, for your blessings. We ask you for your continued forgiveness, and we give you all the praise, Lord, for everything good and all of our experiences in life. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. But yeah, man, so the topic today is going to be Shakur Stevenson, man. So Shakur Stevenson, don't forget to smack that like button, by the way, as well. Shakur Stevenson, according to Jake Paul, has reached out to help Jake Paul fight Gervonta Tank Davis. And the rivalry between Shakur Stevenson, who's currently the 135-pound WBC champion, and the 135-pound WBA champion, Gervonta Tank Davis. They've been rumored to fight for a long time. They have been attached to each other as far as one of the biggest fights in boxing. I would love to see that fight. But Shakur Stevenson has come out and said that this fight is a circus. But before we do it, let's go ahead and check out what Jake Paul said himself. Before we analyze that, let's go ahead and check out what Jake Paul said himself about the situation.
A plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty southpaws.
How did the Shakur link up? What prompted that?
I think he hit someone on my team, my coach. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's going to be awesome to get in there and work with someone.
So run that back. He said, how did Shakur get inserted? He said he think he hit somebody on his team.
On my team, my coach.
Shakur link up. What prompted that?
I think he hit someone on my team, my coach. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's going to be awesome to get in there and work with someone as great as Shakur.
So he said he thinks that Shakur hit somebody on his team, but basically he's saying that Shakur reached out. He didn't reach out to Shakur. Shakur reached out to him. And number one is Jake Paul, right? So he could be wrong. And he said, I think, you know what I'm saying? That means that he wasn't contacted directly. It was somebody on his team. That doesn't mean it's not a reliable source, but it does give you some leeway to have a mistake there, So we'll see what Shakur has to say about that. But let's say that Jake Paul is telling the truth, and I don't see why he would lie. I mean, well, I can see why he would lie, to be funny and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is I'm not sure if he's lying, but let's assume that he's telling the truth. Y'all already know how I feel about that. Do I think that Shakur is a sellout because he trying to reach out because he reached out to Jake Paul, or Jake Paul reached out to him, he's going to help him? No, I don't think he's a sellout. That's just what it is. I don't think he's a sellout. I don't think you're a sellout because you're boxing and you're going to help somebody in a camp. But I will say this. Shakur Stevenson has came out and he said that this is a circus. This is WWE. It's not real boxing. So if you're going to denounce it and be condescending, and then you're going to turn around and insert yourself and attach yourself to this quote unquote circus that should not be in boxing, then I think that you're corny. Very corny. A sellout? No, I think a sellout is not applicable to the realm of boxing and doing your job or whatever like that. Like, people take stuff way out of context. But do I think it's corny? I think it's absolutely corny. I think that you're going to denounce it on one hand, but then go and try to insert yourself on the other hand, especially when if it was a Gervonta Davis, you probably wouldn't do it. You see what I'm saying? But I cannot knock you for getting your money and stuff like that. And I'm assuming you would probably get paid for being a sparring partner. But I don't think it's a sellout. I think a sellout is too far. I'm gonna keep the same energy that I kept with Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't think Jaron Boots Ennis was a sellout because he went and sparred with Canelo. You're getting experience and you're getting paid to do it, and you're going in to be around the all-time great in Canelo Alvarez. So you can benefit, and you would get some benefit in your pockets and your experience, and then you also benefit Canelo, especially when you already have a history of training with him, with not just you but your brother as well, and you know what I'm saying, your father. So I don't think that was I think that this one, I actually think this one is worse because I don't think there was no issue with Jaron Boots Ennis, but this one I think is, like I said, I think it's an issue not with the culture or violating a code, but I think it's an issue with your own personal integrity, and that's why you got to be careful what you say, you know, because on one hand, you're saying that this fight is trash and it shouldn't be, but then you're going to insert yourself to go and train with him. Like I said, this is assuming that Jake Paul is telling the truth. He could just be stirring the pot or whatever. It might not be true. So, but if it is true, like I said, I think it's corny. That's about it. I don't think you go any further than that to say that somebody's a sellout. That's my personal opinion. But I definitely think it's corny. And I will tell you even more so why I think it's corny too, is because, like I said, they have a history of supposedly fighting Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson fighting each other. But in addition to that, you know, I also told you that that Gervonta Tank Davis fans, ETC boxing was good. They have to be careful as well because, you know, remember when Tank, it's funny how karma just goes around, man. It's funny when Tank said that Terrence Crawford was just fighting Canelo for a money grab. Remember he said that? And then now he's actually fighting a guy for a money grab. I mean, he said Terrence Crawford fighting Canelo wasn't real. It wasn't for legacy. He just wanted money. He just needed money. And now you have Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Jake Paul for what? For money. And then now you have a lot of people that are quote unquote Shakur fans, some people in this stream, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait till he comes because I don't want to talk behind anybody back. But you know, there are some people that are very vocal and adamant about calling Jaron Boots Ennis a sellout because he worked with Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo Alvarez is going to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. And now you like Shakur, so I want to see if you keep the same energy now, because Shakur is doing the same exact thing that you accuse Jaron Boots Ennis of doing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't think either one of them are sellout, me personally, but I do think it's corny, because if you're gonna say that this is not real boxing and you don't like it and the event is a circus, then it just shows that you're envious because now you're inserting yourself in the fray. And I you know what I'm saying, I don't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? From a integrity standpoint, you see what I'm saying? But as far as just going and getting some work in, bro, it's boxing, man. Hey, go work with somebody. They go pay you for it to help to help them with their camp. Is boxing. That's what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You get paid for sparring, go spar. But the whole sellout stuff is just, I think that's corny, bro. I mean, I think the whole the sellout stuff is corny. I didn't think Boots was a sellout for sparring with Canelo. Like I said, not to mention with the family history. But even if they didn't have the family history, I don't think it's a sellout. I don't even think that it doesn't even align with that type of violation, like a sellout because you're going to box. Especially when you have history and stuff like that, bro. It's crazy, bro. I feel like a lot of people are making assessments that have no business making those assessments. You don't, that's outside of your jurisdiction and your authority. You have no experience with calling somebody a sellout or adhering to no code or culture. You just talking out the side of your neck. There's nothing a sellout worthy of going to box. But like I said, the difference with Shakur is that Shakur said that this is a circus, and Shakur said this is WWE and this is a trash fight. But now you're gonna allegedly insert yourself to go be part of somebody's camp when you said that the fight is trash. And I agree. I think this fight is trash. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, in my personal opinion, I think it looks corny for Shakur because of how he felt about the fight to go and insert himself. But I don't think he's a sellout. Sellout is that's crazy. Just do what's good, brother. Take them dad. What's good? I'm not going. Shout out to y'all, man. We got Dub in the building. We got Just Do in the building. We got my brother Take Them Dad in the building. Yes, sir. We got Tay in the building. But yeah, I just think it's terrible, man. I just think people are making these assessments and that don't really have any business making these assessments. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know the code to adhere to claim somebody's violating. So I don't think this is a sellout. I didn't think Boots was a sellout. But if you thought Boots was a sellout, then you definitely got to think Shakur is a sellout. You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep that same energy. Your assessment should be independent of what you like, of who you like and who you dislike. You should be able to make an objective assessment regardless of any type of allegiances. So that's just my personal opinion. Shout out to Tay in the building. Yes, sir. God bless you, bro. Damn, my membership didn't go through this, but for some reason, gotta have to call my bank and talk some. Hey, shout out to my brother Tech Dumb Dad, man, renewing that membership for the 30 days again, bro. Say he not going nowhere.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you so much, man. Another 30 days. I appreciate it, bro. Man, give me a second, chat. Yeah, so, but yeah, I just think it's crazy, man. So that's how you just know that the boxing, you just got to do what you do, man, because that, like, the boxing landscape is just crazy, man. Everybody's so judgmental. Everybody has an opinion on stuff that they just are not even familiar with. They're using terms and throwing them out all whimsically. Like, bro, if you call somebody a sellout, you might get your head top bust. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're wrong. So you got to be right, man. Shout out to my brother Dub, man, dropping the gifted membership, coming through like Oprah on the block. 1, 2, 3. Shout out to you, my boy. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Dub with the gifted membership. And we got Tech Dumb Dad gifted the membership as well, man. They got the Oprah battle right here. Baking biscuits for the hood. 1, 2, 3. Thank God for that. Man, I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Take Them Dad with the gifted membership to Joshua Alexander. Shout out to Dub for the gifted membership to Rick Timms. Once again, if you receive a gifted membership, please consider renewing that membership. You know what I'm saying? Upon expiration, man. It really helps us to keep going and growing. We got 2 cents boss lady in the building. Yep, one time for the ladies. Man, speaking of the ladies, man, Cardi B, man, I'm thinking about removing Cardi B. I like Cardi B. I like Cardi B because not really as an artist. She just seems like she's genuine, you know what I'm saying? For better or for worse. So I like authentic people, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be seeing her and I feel like people associate the stuff that she does with certain cultures that she doesn't represent, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they always try to put the ignorant stuff on Americans, especially Black Americans, you know, say that she does not represent that culture, but she be doing a lot of stuff of the culture, be looking straight up ignorant out there, gosh dang, twerking while you're pregnant, looking like a buffoon, you know what I'm saying? They be trying to put that on Black women, and she's not a Black woman, you know, it's just that she represents herself, you know, she be looking straight foolish, in my personal opinion. But shout out to Cardi B though. I do like her. I like her as a person, but a lot of stuff I'm just noticing is like, man, she'd be looking ignorant. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my brother Dub, man. Shout out to Dub dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
She be looking straight. And he said, Doc got our cars declining with his hiatus. That's what it is with my hiatus. Nah, man, I be on, man. Don't forget to smack that like button. 2 cents said the new album hot. Oh yeah, shout out to I like Cardi B as a person. I like the fact that she's authentic. It's like I always try to find like the good. You know, like I like when a person is authentic. She doesn't seem like she's faking who she is. Like she's authentically her. But that authenticity is a little ignorant. I ain't gonna lie, man. That stuff I be seeing, I be like, man, she wildin'. But anyway, let's go back to the boxing stuff, man. And also in other news besides Shakur and the Gervonta Tank Davis and the Jake Paul stuff, I want to talk about Janabek, man. Janabek has come out recently. It said, you know, that the Carlos Adames fight has fell through. Shocker. You know, the Carlos Adames fight fell through, right? I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't care whose fault is. Who's at fault this time? I just think that they should just go ahead and strip them both, man. At this point, you know, you have Janabek, the IBF WBO champion. You have Carlos Adames, the WBC champion. And you have Lara, the WBA champion. I don't know who Janibek be fighting. I just know who he's not fighting. And he's not fighting Adames. I don't care if it's Adames' fault at this point. I don't care if it's Janibek's fault. Just go ahead, strip them both, because this is getting ridiculous. But anyway, Janibek, since that fight has fell through, you know, he's calling out Terrence Bud Crawford. Now all of a sudden he wants to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. I think that'd be dope. I think that's a great fight. I just don't believe it'll happen. So I want to pull up who Janibek has fought. Let me show you who Janibek has fought recently. Shout out to my brother Al Booger in the building. Let's look at who B Dog in the building. He said we all broke, but if you ain't got $3 a month broke, you get your shit together. He said we all broke, but if you ain't got $3 a month broke, get your together. You ain't lying, bro. Shout out to Tech Up Dad, man. Straight like that. Shout out to my brother, man. Straight like that, man. That's a fact. If you ain't got $3 a month broke, get your stuff together. You feel me? No judgment though. But yeah, man, help us keep going and growing. But yeah, look at Janibek. Let's go look at Janibek right now. So Janibek, first of all, I think Janibek's the best in the middleweight division. I think that him and Adames would be a good fight, you know. But I think if I had to pick who's the best, I would go with Janibek Alimkhanuly, right? So Janibek Alimkhanuly, who claims he can't get a fight, you know, Janibek, Virgil Ortiz, Jab Ataya, and Bakram Murtazaliev are the most ducked fighters in boxing history. Now, I don't mind Janibek and Jab Ataya and Bakram Murtazaliev considering people are ducking them, because at least they're champions. Virgil Ortiz, everybody, every time you turn around, it's a new person ducking Virgil Ortiz, and he's not a champion. Bro, stop it, bro. You never been a champion. You wasn't a champion at 150. You're not a champion at 154. You weren't a champion at 147. Everybody's not ducking you, bro. It has something to do with your management, or something to do with maybe you faking the funk and pump faking, like you want to fight somebody when you know that they're not available to fight, you know, and then when they're available to fight, all of a sudden you're busy, or you don't want anybody to push you in the corner or tell you what to do. So I don't want to hear anybody. I'm tired of hearing people ducking them. But the Carlos Adames and Janibek situation is very, very, very much so wearing my patience thin, man. Wearing my patience thin. And I just think that Janibek saying he wants to fight Terrence Bud Crawford next. This guy fought Enel. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name, man. I feel bad. I should though. And now Gamasenge. I think it's Gamasenge. Anuel Gamasenge. Shout out to him. You know, he's from the Democratic Republic of Congo, like Martin Bacoli. He resides in France. So he beat a Frenchman. So, and then he beat Andre Mikhailovich. Shout out to Andre Mikhailovich. I watched that fight. I watched both of these fights. That was a good fight though while it lasted, man. He knocked Anuel out. And then Vincenzo Gautieri and then Steven Butler. Basically what I'm saying is this guy has fought everybody. Anybody that you named that he recently just fought, your response would be this. If I said, oh, Janibek fought this guy, Janibek fought this guy, every single one of those guys, your response would be just like this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
It's just a fact.
Who the fuck is that?
Nobody knows who he's fighting.
No damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
No, nobody knows who he's fighting. You see what I'm saying? So, and I pay attention to boxing. A lot of the guys that he fights, I've only seen him fight them. You know what I'm saying? I never seen these guys fight anybody else. Like, but what I'm saying is that they're pretty much unheard of until they fight Janibek. So I just think that that's part of the problem. You can't tell me that. I mean, middleweight division is pretty much barren. Don't get me wrong. But Carlos Adames, he fought Hamza Shiraz before Hamza Shiraz moved up. We know Hamza Shiraz. So, and Arizona De Lara, not saying that Danny Garcia is the best opponent. He's pretty much at the decline end of his career, but he still fought somebody of note. We recognize Danny Garcia. You see what I'm saying? So Janibek is, I think he's the best guy at 160, but it doesn't change the fact that he's not fighting anybody. And if you're not fighting anybody, then I'm not trying to hear about anybody ducking you, because you're not fighting anybody yourself. You see, there's no disrespect to his opponents, but it's just, you're not fighting anybody recognizable. Let me say that. So the fact that now he's calling out Bud, I'm sorry, I just don't believe you. I don't believe that you would fight Bud. I think that anybody that you call out right now until proven otherwise is a bunch of
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
I'm just not going. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy Tech said, I'm not going, man. Shout out to I like Janibek, man, but this is getting old, bro. We got to get some movement, man. The same with Jab Ataya. I like Jab Ataya. Once again, similar to Janibek, I think that Jab Ataya may be the best in the cruiserweight division. It's a toss-up between him and Zerto to me. But a lot of people saying that everybody's ducking him. It's like, bro, look at his last opponent was Claudio Squeo. Who is that? You see what I'm saying? At least Zerto, whether he's ducking or not, Zerto fought his last opponent was a mandatory, Junior Dorticos. And before that, he fought unification with Chris William Smith for the WBO belt. That's why he has a WBA and WBO. Before that, he fought, he just acquired the WBA belt, if I'm not mistaken, from Arslan Goulamirian. And before that, he fought Joe Smith Jr. So all of his fights since he's been at cruiserweight have been notable. You see what I'm saying? Ja Battaglia, you cannot say the same for him. He fought Jack One Smack Massey. We seen him one time like Thurman. And then he fought Claudio Squayo, like we just said. He fought David Nika, was a good fight because David Nika was a replacement for Hussein Sankara, who he's about to fight now, which was his IBF mandatory. So I give him credit for that. But, you know, before that, who Jordan Thompson. And these are good fights, but they're not really anybody of note. You see what I'm saying? So if anybody was fighting people of note, it would be Zerto, you know, but we're mad at Ja Battaglia because we're trying to push this narrative that everybody's ducking him, you know, and then we have even, what's the dude's name? Badu Jack, who's a WBC champion at cruiserweight. He's even fighting his mandatory in Noel McCain, and they ordered him to fight him again, you know, who was a former champion as well. So these guys are actually fighting people of note, and some of these guys that claim everybody's ducking them are not. You know, and Bakram Murtazalev, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to give him an excuse. Because at least, like I said, Bakram's a champion. And clearly, people don't want to fight him because Erickson Lubin, who was supposed to fight Bakram Murtazalev, he won an IBF title eliminator when he beat the undefeated Ardreau Holmes from Detroit, the American fighter, right? When they fought, Erickson Lubin was supposed to fight Bakram Murtazalev. But before that title eliminator happened, Bakram was available to fight Virgil Ortiz, and to where him and his promoter even said that Turki Al-Sheikh has reached out to them, to which they signed their part, you know, whatever, that's what they say. They signed their portion of the negotiations, and they wanted to fight, they agreed to fight, what's his name? Virgil Ortiz. And Virgil Ortiz said his dad, you know, his daddy said that they didn't get the offer. They don't know what they're talking about. You know, they never know what they're talking about. But then later on, just 2 days ago, I read from Robert Garcia, who's Virgil Ortiz's trainer, that they don't want to go the IBF route because of the rehydration clause. So which one is it? Did you not get contacted, or did you make a active effort not to go the IBF route where Bakram Murtazalev is because of some rehydration clause, and you know, and you conveniently brought up the rhabdomyolysis? But anyway, Bakram Murtazalev did not fight Virgil Ortiz. But then not only did he not fight Virgil Ortiz, the guy that he was supposed to fight, Erickson Lubin, Virgil Ortiz went and snatched his opponent. So not only did he not fight Bakram, he went and snatched Bakram's opponent. But everybody's ducking Virgil. Every day, Jamel Charlo's ducking Virgil. Bud's ducking Virgil. Boots is ducking Virgil. Xander's ducking Virgil. Gosh dang, Bakram ducking Virgil. Sebastian Fedora's ducking Virgil. Everybody's ducking Virgil, bro. Who you gonna fight, bro? Shout out to Eric. I want to say this though. Virgil Ortiz and Erickson Lubin, in my personal opinion, they both ducked Bakram Murtazalev. But I will say, Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin is a great fight. So I'm not complaining about the fight. I love that fight. But the fact is, still remains that you can't be out here screaming people ducked you, and you're the one that's actually ducking yourself. At least that's what it seems like. It seems like Virgil Ortiz might be, he might be the one that's ducking. Don't forget to smack that like button. But yeah, so I mean, I like it's so hard not to like Virgil Ortiz. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a humble person. You know what I'm saying? In interviews, I rock with him. But I'm just not going for the nonsense. Shout out to Anubis in the building, Pugilism in the building. What's good? He said, a lot of mercy. Hey, yes sir. What's good, bro? He said entertain us. I'm trying, man. He said the casual fans don't know about Janibek either. That's true. The casual fans don't know Janibek either, but you should. You'll have no excuse to not. Well, I guess you do have an excuse, but in my personal opinion, if you don't know Janibek can't really do much about that. You know, he's not really, you know, he's from Kazakhstan. He doesn't really have, I mean, he's with Top Rank, but he doesn't really have like a huge promotional effort behind him. So if you don't know him, I can't blame him for that, but I can blame him for the people he chooses to fight or not fight. If you fought Carlos Adames, and I'm blaming Carlos Adames too, if they fight each other, or if they fight a unification with Arizona Lara, then people would kind of know him a little bit more. You out here fighting a Frenchman that no one heard of. You out here fighting a Russian that no one heard of. You know what I'm saying? Then of course people aren't going to know you as much. So I got to put the blame on them. Becky's 32 and Adames near 32. Really as well. They are on the downhill of their primes too, and their managers and promoters need to tell them to get with it. Exactly. They should be stripped because it's duck season. I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm not just blaming Janibek, but the reason why I'm on Janibek's head top right now is because Carlos Adames is not screaming that everybody's ducking him. You see what I'm saying? So I think that these guys, to me, Janibek, Apataya and Virgil Ortiz are the three most ducked fighters in boxing history, according to them, which I disagree with all that wholeheartedly. I damn sure don't want to hear this shit about the new Four Kings ever again. Right, exactly. These clowns quack half their careers. Right. So sad it takes Turkey Buddy to make these fights when we want them. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not even, because I don't like to call fighters ducks, right? But if you're going to call fighters ducks, other fighters ducks, then you have to have a good reason. Like, to me, in my personal opinion, whether you like Shakur or not, I think that Shakur might be the most ducked fighter, because he's a champion, and you could see when he gets fights like with Floyd Schofield or they don't, he pulls out because that was a duck. I don't care what nobody says. He's sick. His passport's messed up. His father sabotaged, claiming that they got sabotaged with some cream on his face. That was a duck. You see what I'm saying? So you can actually see in real time when people are ducking Shakur. And you know that I got Tank over Shakur all day, but I blame Tank for the fight not happening. I'm not saying Tank is ducking Shakur, but if anything, if anybody was ducking, it looks more like Tank is ducking Shakur. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have Esau Pitbull Cruz, who didn't want to fight Shakur. He said that he's quote unquote boring. So everybody's using this boring excuse as not to fight Shakur. No, it's not that he's boring, because if it was somebody that you could beat and you thought that they were boring, you would go beat them. You see what I'm saying? Especially because he's a champion. It's not like he's a contender that's quote unquote boring. He's a champion that's boring. So if it was just him being boring, then go make it exciting and knock his boring behind out. But you scared. You see what I'm saying? Like, not scared like you afraid to like you don't want to get punched on. I'm saying scared like you don't want to get mudded out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get washed. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. So to me, Shakur is one of the most avoided fighters. I would even say Bakram. I think Bakram's very avoided too. Like I said, I think Bakram's very avoided, and I think Shakur is very avoided. I say Shakur still more so than Bakram, but those guys are actually legitimately avoided. But Virgil Ortiz claiming everybody's ducking him, I'm not hearing. Japatai, I'm not hearing that. And Janabek, I'm not hearing that. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why Carlos Adames and Janabek's not popping, but the fact that it's not, go ahead and strip both of them. Neither one of y'all can have champions, or it could be champions, because y'all don't want to fight. I'm not even saying that y'all have to fight, but if y'all going to keep talking like y'all want to fight and y'all not making the fight happen, then it means that somebody's pump faking, man. And that's not championship material right there, man. Keep pump faking. Just say, hey, I'd be more comfortable if they said, hey, man, I'm not trying to fight him right now. You know what I'm saying? And all this, oh yeah, we about to fight. Yeah, Janabek tweeting, oh yeah, big news, we're about to fight. Carlos Adames tweeting, oh yeah, we about to fight, big fight announcement. And then once again, it falls through. I'm not trying to hear that, man. He said, now they all want to hold out for Turkey. And that's true. Legacy means nothing to 9% of these fighters. That's true. Unless Turkey writes a check. Yeah, hey man, get your money though. I can't be mad at that, because we be throwing fighters away, man. A fighter loses one time, we toss him right in the trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But I will say this though. I don't think Lubin is afraid of anybody. I just think that he was able to go another route, and he'll probably get paid more because people don't know Bakram. However, the reason why I say that you could call it a duck is because Virgil Ortiz is not a belt holder. Like, if Virgil Ortiz had a belt and Lubin chose to fight him, I don't know how that fell through or why that fell through, but I'm assuming it has something to do with Pro Box and Jonas, right? The owner of Pro Box, who Eric Lubin is signed with, right? I would think it had something to do with a business deal with them and Golden Boy, why he decided to go that route. I don't think it was he ducked him because he was scared. But at the same time, if you have a title opportunity, kind of like what Tech is saying, if you can fight for legacy, the bigger legacy is being an IBF champion against Bakram. That's more of a legacy. But the bigger money fight, which is just as hard, I think, is Virgil Ortiz. That's a difficult fight, but there's no belt associated with it. So, so I do think that, you could kind of question that he should be fighting for a belt. He said, Tech, that if you choose to hold out for the potential to get a turkey check, you are quack. I agree with that. Tech. Yeah, that's just being blunt. You know what I'm saying? I do think that there's some nuances to be added in some cases, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, I agree with you. He said, why did you pick out that selective 3 of Apataya, Janabek, and Virgil? Boots team talked like he was the biggest boogeyman in the sport. Why did I pick out that selective 3? I already told you. I said because they're the ones that are claiming that people are ducking. I can't help what you hear. He said Boots team talked like he was the biggest boogeyman in the sport. Boots is a unified champion. How many belts does Virgil have? I'll wait. He said Boo Boo Andre is always saying how everybody. When's the last time Boo Boo Andre fought? You're talking about a guy who hasn't fought in 2 years. Why did you selectively go and pick out Boo Boo Andre? You're talking about Boo Boo Andre. When's the last time he fought? Last time he fought was Benavidez. Benavidez has fought 3 times since then. Why are we even talking about Boo Boo Andre? Yeah, exactly. So you tell me, why did you selectively pick out Boo Boo Andre? Goofy. What? Boo Boo Andre? We're not talking about people who duck throughout history. We're talking about the people that are actively fighting and talking about people ducking them. Boo Boo Andre, last time I saw him, he talked about fighting Canelo or something, or Terrence Crawford winner or something like that. He hasn't fought since Benavidez. So I don't know what you're talking about. So I want to know, why did you selectively pick out Boots and Boo Boo? Why did you do that? And last time I checked, once again, Boots is was a unified champion. He had the WBA and the IBF title. He beat that undefeated Lithuanian Mantas Stanionis for the WBA and the unification, and he was a Ring Magazine champion. And he's about to go up and fight Weizma Lima. Weizma Lima is his debut at 154. Who did Virgil Ortiz fight for his debut at 154? Do you even know? Let me help your goofy behind out. He fought Frederick Lawson. And then his next fight was Thomas Delorme. A lot of people like to, you know, you use the word selective, right? A lot of people like to have selective memory and selective recollection when they talk about who Virgil Ortiz fought at 154. Virgil Ortiz fought a good fight, a good opponent in Israel Madrimov. I clap it up for him. Shout out to Virgil Ortiz. And he fought Serhiy Boachu. Serhiy Boachu just lost to Brandon Adams twice. So is he really that good, or Virgil Ortiz just not that good himself after he got dropped? But either way, Serhiy Boachu and Israel Madrimov were not his debut at 154. His debut fights was Frederick Lawson and Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme, he beat in 1 round for his second fight at 154, but he beat him in 1 round after who did it? Jaron Boots Ennis already beat Thomas Delorme in 1 round. And like I said, Jaron Boots Ennis is a champion, 2-belt champion, unified champion, and a Ring Magazine champion. So if you want to talk about who's more accomplished, it wouldn't be Virgil Ortiz. Let's just get that. Let's make that very clear right now. You know what I'm talking about? So you could go with the narratives or whatever biased media boxing outlet that you typically get your news from, but there's not even a question who's more accomplished between Boots and Virgil. In fact, Virgil is not even as accomplished as Xander Zayas. It is what it is. So I want to know, why did you pick out Boots? Talking about he the badge. His debut against Weizma Lima is way better than Thomas Delorme and Frederick Lawson for your debut at a new weight class. Weizma Lima is the IBO champion. Weizma Lima only has 1 loss, and it came by a decision loss to Aaron McKenna. I couldn't even count how many people Thomas Delorme and Frederick Lawson lost to, but I do know Thomas Delorme lost to Jaron Boots Ennis before he lost to Virgil Ortiz. So what are you talking about? Shout out to my brother Oster, man. What's good? Virgil is fun to watch and not showing he is elite, and nobody's ducking Virgil ever in life. Like I said, I like Virgil a lot, but we're not going to make up a narrative because we like somebody. I like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't like Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. I don't make up narratives because I like or don't like somebody. But it seems like you do, whatever your name is. So tell me, why did you pick out Boo Boo Andre? Who the hell is Boo Boo? No, just I like Boo Boo Andre. Don't get me wrong, but he's another one that he messed up in his career with his career path. But I don't understand the relevance that he had with this conversation, besides you trying to make a point that you just terribly failed at. You know what I'm saying? I would like to know why you picked out Boots and Andre. All them Ortiz fans, Boots haters, gonna leave when Boots embarrasses Virgil. That's the shout out to Anubis. I actually think that's a good fight. I'm not certain that Boots beats Virgil. I think that's a great fight. I think it should happen. And I commend Virgil Ortiz for fighting Erickson Lubin. But you cannot tell me that people are ducking you and you're not a champion when you had 2 champions that you could have pursued. You could have pursued Sebastian Fedora, but you pursued Virgil. You pursued Tim Tszyu. When Tim Tszyu lost to Sebastian Fedora, then Tim Tszyu had to pull out because his cut that he sustained fighting Sebastian Fedora didn't heal. We know that. It's not his fault that Tim Tszyu pulled out. But why did you pursue Tim Tszyu instead of pursuing the guy who beat Tim Tszyu, is Sebastian Fedora? I'll tell you why. Because Tim Tszyu was coming off of a loss, and it looks like he was being very opportunistic. And that's what Virgil Ortiz does. It may not be Virgil Ortiz's fault, but it's his fault and his trainer's fault, his management team. It's Virgil Ortiz's team. Everybody that they target is some type of compromised. Everybody. You want to fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence coming off a 2-year hiatus and getting beat down from pillar to post against Terrence Bud Crawford. All of a sudden now you want to fight Errol Spence when y'all been in the same locale in Texas forever. You know, so all of a sudden you want to fight Errol Spence now. You want to fight Jermell Charlo now, coming off a 2-year sabbatical and a loss to Canelo Alvarez. You didn't want to fight him before, but now all of a sudden you want to fight Jermell Charlo, right? Xander Zayas called you out and you denied it because he wasn't a champion. Now he's a champion. and everybody thinks of him as the least experienced, all of a sudden now you want to fight him, right? And you probably know the Top Rank's not gonna give you that fight with Xander anyway. And then you who else? Then now all of a sudden you want to fight Boots when you could have fought Boots at 147, just like you could have fought Terrence Bud Crawford at 147, but you call out Boots now when Boots is about to make a debut at a new weight class and try to make it seem like he's ducking. But then they said they'll fight you after, and then what's your response? Oh, no one tells me what to do. That was his response. No one tells me what to do. I thought you wanted to fight him. Right? And then now you want to fight Bud, and you know Bud's not even in your division. He just went up to 168 to fight Canelo. Now you're talking about going to 160 to potentially meet Bud at 160 when you don't have a belt at 154. You've never been to 160, but we're supposed to believe that you're going to fight him at 160? Come on, bro. Stop it, man. You want to believe that mess if you want to. Now, the Eric Lubin is a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I love this fight, but why not go after Bakram? Why take Bakram's opponent and not fight Bakram? Oh, it's because of the rehydration limit that the IBF imposes. And your quote unquote rhabdomyolysis that you really got for being a weight bully at 147. These are just facts, bro. It is what it is. And then you fought Israel Madrimov when he had bronchitis. Bro, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up, man. Then you fight Israel Madrimov when he has bronchitis. It's not his fault that he got bronchitis. But let's be real, right? Like I said, I like Virgil Ortiz, but this is just stuff that I noticed. Maybe I paid too much attention to the boxing. But if you remember, and Tech, correct me if I'm wrong, Dub, correct me if I'm wrong, Anubis, Tay, anybody correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm lying. If you remember, Israel Madrimov was scheduled to fight Serhiy Boachuk in December. And then all of a sudden, Virgil Ortiz and Israel Madrimov are scheduled to fight in February. So you tell me, what does that look like? It looks like you try to be opportunistic and fight Israel Madrimov when you know Israel Madrimov is going to, win or lose, he was going to come off a tough fight with Serhiy Boachuk. Right or wrong, chat? And then Israel Madrimov pulled out of Serhiy Boachuk wisely because he was sick with the bronchitis. And then he claimed that, oh, I wasn't fully recovered. I wasn't fully recovered when I fought Virgil Ortiz. He said he was still sick. Either way, that's not Virgil Ortiz's fault. But even that looked like he was being opportunistic. Why would you try to fight Israel Madrimov coming off of a 2-month turnover from his last fight against Serhiy Boachuk, a guy that dropped you twice? You know how tough Serhiy Boachuk is. Come on, bro. Stop it. Everybody that he tries to fight, it just seems like there's something compromised about them. There's nothing. You can say that somebody's making it up if you like Virgil. I like Virgil Ortiz too, but this is just, I'm not making anything up. It's documented. Come on, bro. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at Virgil Ortiz's team, or get mad at Oscar De La Ponte and Golden Shower Promotions. Don't get mad at me. Every time he fights, it just looks funny. But this Eric Lubin one, and I want to say shout out to Eric Lubin too, because I didn't realize until I was watching the press conference and he was like, oh, this is my third guy that I fought that's undefeated. And I was like, hold on. That's true, because remember he fought Jesus Ramos. I think Jesus Ramos, that's a great, I think I like Jesus Ramos a lot, but I think that Jesus Ramos, I think people exaggerate how much of a robbery that was. I thought the right person won, but it was a close fight though. A very competitive fight. Shout out to Jesus Ramos. He's actually one of my favorite fighters in that division. But yeah, he fought Jesus Ramos undefeated at the time. He fought Ardro Holmes, who was relatively unknown. Decent win. But he was undefeated, and now he's about to fight Virgil Ortiz. He's undefeated. So shout out to Eric Lubin, but I still got to knock him for not fighting Bakram. Bakram came with a belt. But I would say Virgil Ortiz is obviously more money. So, and Virgil Ortiz, I don't understand why he wouldn't go for a belt. Why wouldn't you target Fedor or target Bakram? So it is what it is. Because, it's so funny that Robert Garcia said that it was because of that rehydration clause. But then I could show you multiple interviews where Virgil Ortiz said that the rhabdomyolysis is no longer an issue. He hasn't had an issue with the rhabdo since he moved to 154. He said that on the interview with Ak and Barak, and he just said it in an interview with I think it was Fight Hub after the press conference. He said the rhabdomyolysis was a problem at 147 because it was weight related. I mean, he tells you. He literally tells you, and then you go look at the causes of rhabdomyolysis or rhabdo. There's multiple causes, but he said it wasn't hereditary. He said it wasn't because of drug use or any, he literally says in an Ak and Barak interview, he said it's because he was over exerting himself. What does over exerting yourself sound like? Sounds like you're trying to make weight, and you're over exerting yourself because you're trying to fit in some skinny jeans when your fat ass should move up. And you notice that since he moved up to 154, there's been no more rhabdo. But there was rhabdo at 147 though, because what's that sound? It sounds like you're being a weight bully. One of the symptoms of rhabdo is everything that he had from trying to strain yourself too much and being dehydrated. It's just facts. You can get mad at me if you want to, because I'm delivering the facts, just because I'm not over here regurgitating some goofy behind narrative that's uneducated and unintelligent and fanatical. That's on you. It is what it is. Shout out to Virgil, but you can't keep telling me that everybody's ducking you and you're not even a champion. Bakram, I could believe that people are ducking you because he's a champion. You see what I'm saying? He's a champion and nobody wants to come and get the belt. You should, Shakur Stevenson, I can see that people are ducking him because he has a belt. You can't tell me that everybody's ducking you and you don't even have a belt. Why not? Exactly. Virgil is TO 2.0, always talking about good fights that never happened. And I don't know. Oh, shout out to my brother Oster, man. Shout out to my brother Oster in the building. And I'm gonna need you to call in if you can, my brother. My boy. If you can call in, please call in, Oster, because I need to ask you some questions. I need to ask you something. He said, imagine my team would sandbag because Boots last two opponents are technically better and tougher tasks. And like I said, I want Boots to fight Virgil as well. I want Boots to fight Bakram as well. I want Boots to fight everybody at 154. But you can't tell me that you're mad at the guy who's more accomplished than you are at the guy who's not as accomplished. You can't expect Boots to go up in a new weight division on his debut and fight a champion or even fight Virgil Ortiz, but you were cool with Virgil Ortiz fighting Frederick Lawson and then Thomas Delorme for his first two fights at 154. Keep the same energy, man. You can't expect the world of one fighter, but then be okay with some poo-putt minuscule effort from another fighter. I bet I can tell by the title. Yeah, no, don't get your thoughts together. I don't want you to get your thoughts together. I just want to hear your raw, honest and genuine thoughts, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear no gosh dang premeditated, calculated, rehearsed answer. Nah. I want this raw emotion. I need you to call in right now, my brother. My brother. You know what I'm saying? I need Oster the OG to call in right now. And I could tell if you recited it in the mirror too. I don't want to hear no recited answers, bro. I want to hear raw, authentic, genuine answers, man. Me roll my smoke. Oh, hey, he wants to roll the smoke. Nah, I know I'm supposed to. Shout out to Oster, man. But nah, shout out to you, man. But yeah, so I just, you know, you my boy, man. I love talking with you, Oster. So, but yeah, the Shakur, that's why I say we got to be careful, right? I keep the same energy with Gervonta Tank Davis, man. You know, I think that, you know, shout out to Tank. You can do what you want, but I also could call it what I see as well. And I don't like the Jake Paul fight. I don't like exhibitions, but get your money. I'm not knocking you, but I'm a boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm pugilist enthusiast, a boxing purist. I like to see top fighters fight. I don't care about the exhibitions. I don't care if you're my favorite fighter like Floyd fighting an exhibition against John Gotti's grandson. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching Floyd versus Logan Paul. I'm not watching Oscar De La Hoya versus Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not watching these exhibitions. So Tank is no different. Just because I like him, and don't make it no different. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's a good fight, but I understand it from a business standpoint. So I salute Tank and Jake Paul for making the money. I cannot knock him as businessman, but I could knock it as me not wanting to see it. I'd rather see Tank versus Shakur. And I think Tank is ducking Lamont Roach too. You see how I keep it even? And you see how I keep it consistent? Tank, when it comes to Lamont Roach, especially when and I'm not saying he's ducking him because he chose not to fight him or he's scared, but because the WBA and President Gilberto Mendoza, they pursued a rematch. They said that they want a rematch and Tank didn't do it. So until you fight him, you're ducking him. And like I said, ducking is evasion. It doesn't mean that you're scared for what reason. It could be a business move that you're not fighting them. It could be that you are scared to fight them. It could be that it doesn't make sense at that time, or maybe you try to push it off, or whatever it is, but you are avoiding your championship obligation in fighting a guy. And if you're evading it or avoiding it, that means that you're ducking. You see what I'm saying? I have no problem saying that. You know, that I still like Tank. I still think Tank will beat Lamont Roach, but until you fight him, you know, same with Naya anyway. People, but see, when I say that Tank is ducking Lamont Roach, all of a sudden I'm fair, I'm unbiased. But if I say Naya anyway was ducking MJ Akhmadaliev, all of a sudden now I'm biased. You know what I'm talking about? So it depends on who. Some people you're allowed to critique, and some people you're not allowed to critique. So before Boots fought Montes Stanionis and Karen, I said that I don't know if Boots is that good. I'm not sure. So I was unbiased then. But then once I say that Boots is a unified champion and a Ring Magazine champion, and he's good, and he done more than Virgil Ortiz, all of a sudden I'm biased again. You see how that works? So you're allowed to critique certain people on certain channels about certain things, but other people, you can't critique them. Get the freak out of here. I do what I want. I'm a big boy now. I do what I want. Hey, you talking about? But yeah, man. But yeah, I just think that I think that how can I say this? I think that if you don't do what you are expected to do, like I said, not even just like, I'm not talking about like Canelo ducking Bud. I mean Benavidez. I don't think Canelo ducked Benavidez because Benavidez didn't put forth, according to what I've seen in my research, he didn't put forth the appropriate documentation to get that mandated. And if you don't fight your mandatory, then you get stripped. Canelo was never stripped. Do I think he could have fought him and he should have fought him? Absolutely. I wish Canelo would have fought David Benavidez, but I personally don't say he ducked him. But if you say Canelo ducked him, that's cool. I ain't gonna put up too much of a fight because it looks like he ducked him. But if you know how boxing works, then you kind of be a little bit more educated on the topic, then you know that he technically didn't duck him. It's just that he was never mandated to fight him. And how could I prove that? I could prove that because when the WBC ordered Bivol to fight Benavidez and Bivol didn't, what happened? They stripped Bivol. How come they didn't strip Canelo? And then you realize that it's more so administratively that they dropped the ball, or they didn't want to support Benavidez more so than Canelo didn't want to fight him, because if Canelo really didn't want to fight him and they ordered it, then he would have been stripped. And he was never stripped. So that's I'm not saying that Canelo is the face of boxing so he could do what he wants to do and contrarily not do what he doesn't want to do. But at the same time, though, what's the point of having these sanctioning bodies if they're not and their rules if they're not going to enforce them? That's not the fighter's fault that they don't enforce the rules. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna pull you up. Oster, give me a second. He said if Shakur or Roach was one fight to fight Jake and Tank help Jake spar, they call, come on now, come on Anubis. If it was the other way around, they would call him a sellout.
Yeah.
But I would say this though too. I just think that, you know, we got to be fair, man. And in order to be fair, you know, Weizma Lima's not a bad opponent. And I know people say, oh, the IBO champion doesn't matter. The IBO belt doesn't matter. Well, I mean, they call Manny Pacquiao an 8-division champion. I do too. I like Manny Pacquiao, one of my favorite fighters. I call him an 8-division champion. But if you're going to tell me that the IBO belt doesn't matter, well, then you can't call Manny Pacquiao an 8-division champion, because one of those divisions, he only had the IBO belt. And then when you realize that, you see the contradiction when people like Max Kellerman, and I love Max Kellerman. I think he's the best boxing contributor, analyst, all that stuff, you know, commentator, him, Roy Jones, and Jim Lampley. But Max Kellerman, I don't know, he's been shitty lately. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He's been kind of questionable lately, man, because you can't give people credit for doing one thing and then not give somebody else credit for doing the same thing. It's cool if you don't want to recognize that Weizma Lima's an IBO champion, you don't recognize the IBO belt. I don't really recognize it, you know, as far as like talking about it. But the fact still remains that Weizma Lima is a good opponent for your debut at a new weight class, and he's never been stopped. He only has one decision loss to Aaron McKenna, who's a contender, right? And so if you're going to say that, oh, IBO belts don't matter, then you can't call Manny Pacquiao an 8-division champion because one of his belts was the IBO. These are just facts. In fact, Dimitri Bivol was an IBO belt holder as well. He used to carry that belt too. So I don't know. You got to respect it or not respect it, but you can't be. We don't deal with halfway crooks around here. Lima is not mad, but Boots is gonna smoke him. Lima's not bad. I got you, Albuga. Lima's not bad. Boots is gonna smoke him like some Gorilla Glue. Man, I don't know, Albuga. I think Boots is gonna win. I'm with you. Okay. I think Boots is gonna outclass him, but I don't think he's gonna stop him. I could be wrong though. He might stop him. Maybe it'll be a corner stoppage. I don't think he's gonna knock him out, but I could be wrong though. Tank was out there defending Ryan after Ryan was pure racist shit. He already broke the code. Facts. That's true. But I mean, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about though. So now you're reaching. You're reaching. Shakur tried to get a free ticket and walk out clout. I see you fight and watch some highlights. He's definitely not bad. But yeah, I feel you, Albuga. I feel you. He said Shakur definitely tried to troll himself into the fight now. Right. He said, yo, Max was brought. Clearly, his whole take is different. His whole talk is, yeah, man, Max was bought. It's kind of seeming like that, Oster. But I mean, like I said, get your money. But I just, you know, I've been kind of disappointed in Max lately. Sometimes he still goes back to the old Max. You know what I'm saying? With the old facts. But sometimes he comes with some little weird quacks. You know, I'm talking about bars. But yeah, so but look, Kendrick, before I know you just got in here. Shout out to my brother Kendrick. Before y'all get mad at me, you know what I'm saying? I wanna before y'all get mad, I want to tell you I shouldn't even have to tell you my stance on Shakur. But just in case you missed earlier the show, I already said this. You know how I feel about this. I don't think Shakur's a sellout. But I also didn't think Boots was a sellout because it's boxing. However, if you thought Boots was a sellout, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do the picking and choosing because I'm not going. But you know my stance. You should already know my stance. This is boxing. I don't think it's a sellout. However, I will say this though about Shakur. Shakur did call Tank versus Jake Paul a circus. He called it WWE. He said it's trash. So why would you insert yourself into the circus voluntarily if what Jake Paul said is true? You know, it's still an if, right? Jake Paul could be trolling. But he said that Shakur Stevenson reached out to him. So if you're going to reach out on something you call a circus, after calling it a circus, well, then I think that it's corny. I don't think it's a sellout. Sellout is a whole nother topic. That has nothing to do with this. This is boxing. I don't think he's a sellout, just I don't think Boots is a sellout. But I do think that it's corny. Just like I think that Tank, you got to be careful what you say. Because like Gervonta Tank Davis, he called Bud, he said Bud fighting Canelo, it was a money grab. It wasn't for legacy. He was just trying to get some money, right? He tried to reduce it down to that, right? And now look who Tank is fighting Jake Paul. That's purely a money grab. Not only that, but Terrence Crawford messed around and won. Terrence Crawford won, and he proved it wasn't a money grab. And then now look, Tank turned around and he's clearly doing a money grab. That's all Jake Paul is. So we got to call it like it is. So Shakur, if what Jake Paul, I'm going to show the clip. I'm going to show the clip again. Shout out to Al Booger. I'm going to show the clip again. For those of you that missed earlier in the show, let's go back to the clip. Like I said, Jake Paul could be lying. I don't know if he is, but we're going to assume he's telling the truth right now just for argument's sake, right? We're going to assume he's telling the truth, but he could be lying. I'm not putting that past Jake Paul. But if it's true that Shakur reached out to Jake Paul, we know that he only did it because to spite Gervonta Tank Davis.
What prompted that?
I think he hit someone on my team.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty southpaws.
How did the Shakur link up? What prompted that?
I think he hit someone on my team, my coach. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's going to be awesome to get in there and work with someone as great as Shakur.
Yeah, because there's like.
So he said, I think he hit somebody on my team. So he could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? He could be thinking wrong. Somebody could be lying, but that's what he said. And if it's true, then Shakur is, he has to be. He has to be a sellout if you call Boots a sellout. Oster, what's good? My brother, man. Oster, man. Talk to me, man. You caught up or you need me to catch you up? Are you good?
Yeah. Yo, you know what? I'm good.
Okay.
You talking about the Shakur shit with Jake Paul?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Doc, that's a funny one because you know why I think it's funny? Because, like y'all said, I've been listening for a minute.
Okay.
I think Shakur in there. I think Shakur in there for the bullshit, you know, just to get his name in there. I mean, but like they say in today's time, he ain't doing it for money, but for future, to get in the little mix, to be in the little mix. Because I don't see no reason for Shakur to be training with him for Tank. Why would you spar Shakur for Tank? That's retarded. That's completely stupid. That's completely stupid. Like that's 100% stupid. So it got to be for something else. You know what I mean? So I think Shakur trolling, to be honest with you. I think he's trolling him with this one here because there's no reason for you to even go up there spar. There's no reason for Shakur to even be in that conversation with what was going on. Because this is a event, a paid event. You know what I mean? So for you to put yourself into that like that, I think it'll fuck around and mess you up, Cole, because you know this is a paid event. I don't think no real sparring partner should go in here with Jake Paul to spar against Tank. If you ask me. Because it's a fake event.
You, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm definitely asking you.
It's a fake event. So either Shakur going to spar with Jake Paul, how much money you going to give him for a fake event? Like, it got to be some BS going on somewhere around here, man. This is a real clown show going on. I'm telling you, man. I feel like going down that rabbit hole with this because the only real fighter in here is Gervonta. You know what I mean? So you got to go for Gervonta. I would, man, watch the fight and go for Gervonta. I want him to knock him out. So I want him to this is what I'm, Gervonta, do your thing in here. You train for this dude to knock him out. Like put him on a flat, on a mat, right in the middle of the Ring magazine. Put him right in the middle of the Netflix sign. Put him right there. You know what I mean? And get a nice, good picture. And we see what's up. So that shit don't mean nothing with Shakur going in there with him. And I think Shakur is trolling, if you ask me. I think Shakur is on this little, I don't know, man. I think he's trolling, though, because there's no reason for you even be in this conversation, Shakur, for real. There's no reason at all. I can see somebody that's lower than you. I can see a Schofield trying to come in here and, you know what I mean? A little Schofield. I don't understand the comparison with Shakur and Tank. Who the hell would get Shakur to spar for a fight like Tank? If you was two real boxers, would you do that, Doc? Would you do that?
I would tell you why I would. because you know, Shakur and Gervonta, they have history. You know what I'm saying? So he could tell you his tendencies. His style may not match, but he could tell you what Tank is accustomed to doing. You know what I'm saying? From a personal experience. I doesn't mean that he hasn't changed, but there's that. That's number one. They have Shakur and Tank have experience with each other, and then number two, Shakur could give you insight too on what he thinks he would do that's successful against Tank, and number three, most importantly, they're both southpaw. So
yeah.
So,
Now,
but
you know me,
I you know, I got to clap it up for you, bro. You know, I got to commend you, bro, because everything you just said, everything you made it sound so good, my brother. That must be the NY in you. You know what I'm saying? The New York City uptown in you. You know what I'm talking about? 'Cause I like the way you did that. I like how you completely sidestep and try to spin me and try to circle. You know what I'm saying? Get me with the stutter step and all that good stuff to avoid the main point. Is he a sellout or not, bro? Because you were very adamant, and I respect it. Remember, I told you I respect it. I also respectfully disagreed that Boots was a sellout, but is Shakur a sellout? You told me he was a troll. You told me it may not mean nothing. It may not have any implication on the fight, but is he a sellout, my brother? That's what I want to know.
Listen. Okay, now, the reason I ain't going to say sellout, because when I use the word sellout, hear me out. Let me tell you. When I use the word sellout on Boots, y'all straightened me out about sellout. Y'all said he off code. So I said, okay, I'm not going to use the word sellout because I guess sellout was a bad word. Remember that? Y'all killed me. And I was like, okay, you know what? I said, Ty, you know what? I'm going to say off code. That's when I started using off code.
I don't think he was off code either. So yeah, that might be your conversation with Ty, but I don't think Boots was off code either, because to me that's synonymous. That's the same thing.
No.
Off code and sellout's the same thing. To me.
When we was talking. No, I remember we was talking on a thing, and I said sellout. You killed me, and then Ty was like, yo, no, he was off code. I said, okay, you know what? I stand to be corrected, off code. So I stopped saying sellout because I was like, I ain't gonna say sellout because. You know what I mean? So that's why when you said about core, I said, yeah, I think he on some trolling on some, but I ain't want to say sellout. I said, I told you from the beginning, I said, Doc, I seen your title. I already knew what time it was. When I got on, I said, I saw the title. I know you're coming at me. I said, oh, if you put sellout up here, I said, let me say what's up, because I know he coming for me.
Okay. That's fair, bro. That's right. I ain't gonna, you know you my partner, so I ain't gonna go too hard on you, but. Yeah, but yeah, that's cool. I guess we gonna let that slide. I will say this. I do remember you kind of I ain't gonna say that I don't remember you fully changed your mind, but you actually did capitulate that a bit. You were like, yeah, I wouldn't call him a sellout. So I give you that. You did kind of see the light on that. I get that. I wasn't convinced that you really saw the light, but you know, I'm gonna let it slide, bro. You know, hey, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I'm scared to be corrected all the time, man, because I'm trying to keep it right. I don't want to be the one talking crazy, you know what I mean? So if I say something crazy, straighten me out before I say it to some more people, you know what I mean? Let me know, man. Don't let me, like, you know how your friend is, you see a booger in your nose, or you know you got some crazy shit on, tell me up and fix your shit up, man, before you outside, man. Straighten up, man. You can't walk around with me like that.
I gotta ask you. You know what I'm saying? You're not saying he's not a sellout because you like him now. You say that because
no, I'm not saying listen, no. I'm saying now listen to this. This is an honest opinion. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not because of what we said about Ty. I say off code. Now I can say he off code, but it's a fake fight though. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like a fake fight. So what you're gonna do? And another thing I want to say about what you said too just now is that with Shakur
is it a fake fight though? Is it a fake fight? I mean, I think an exhibition. I think it is. But the reason why I asking you is, do you think that they won't go in there and fight for real? Do you think it's scripted? Like when you say fake fight, do you think that they won't throw punches or it's like a sparring? Or do you think it's actually scripted when you say fake?
I don't think Tank playing with him. I think they got that shit listed as a. See, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like, is it a fake fight? Like, is it exhibition where we gonna be in there? We know the script. Like, okay, Tank gonna get the first round. He gets the second. It's like a WWE thing, or is it just? I don't know, because it's vague. So since it's vague, I want Tank to knock him out. I want you to take this shit serious, Tank. I want them to be playing around and joking like you doing now. I want you to be right there, be quiet, and get in the ring and blink on these niggas and knock them out.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know either, because I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Like I don't think they're gonna try to knock each other out. So that's how I feel. But we gotta understand too. Remember, it was supposed to be in Georgia. So in Georgia, it was initially they tried to get it as a sanctioned fight. But they had to move to Florida, and in order to make it happen, they had to call it exhibition. So that may not change their intent. So I get that argument, but for me personally, I don't think it's a real fight. I don't think they're gonna really go in there try to hurt each other. But I don't know. You know, I think I do think that's yet to be seen. But I agree with you that it's a fake fight. but they could have that intention, because I will say that they originally tried to get it actually sanctioned fight. That's why they had to move from Georgia, because Georgia denied them. So they're like, okay, but I'm just gonna go to Miami and call it exhibition. But that may not change their intentions. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I think that's yet to be seen. But even whether, to me, even if they are intentionally going in there to hurt each other, I still don't really care. Of course, it'll be more interesting that way, but I still don't. I think it's a joke, like you said, because the weight disparity, like the weight classes are too much, bro. Like, it's just, like I said, to me, this is not boxing. Like, they will be boxing, but it's not an example of boxing the sport. So, and I tell you what, with this, I agree with you that Shakur is not a sellout. I don't think he's a sellout, but I do think he's corny, because he said that it's a circus. So you're gonna go out your way and join the circus? Yeah, I think that's corny. But I don't think he's a sellout, though. I don't think he's a sellout. Absolutely not. I think, because, I mean, he's a boxer and he'll get paid, and whether you like Jake Paul or not, he'll get experience. And like you said, this part I agree with you. Maybe Shakur and Jake Paul could be next. And to me, that could be even more cornier, because you called it a circus again. That's why you gotta be careful what you say. Just like with Tank. When Tank said that Tank said it's a money grab for Bud to fight Canelo, and now you're going into a fight where that's purely a money grab. There's no question that Jake Paul's a money grab. So you got to be careful what you say. So, and now Shakur calling it a circus, and now you're going to join the circus, allegedly, if what Jake Paul's saying is true. He could be lying and just stirring the pot. But if that's true, then yeah, I think you look corny. But I don't think it's a sellout, though. I don't think it has nothing to do with no type of code, or I don't think it's off code. I don't think it's a sellout. I don't think it's anything of the such. That just means something different to me. You know what I'm saying? Off code and sellout, to me, that means that you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you, I don't know, like, you just selling out. Like, you just, you violating the culture. You violating some type of loyalty, or some type of, I don't know. Not even a friendship, just a respect level. Yeah, like, yeah. Like, you just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if Tech did something, if I'm fighting somebody and me and Tech homies, and then Tech go and try to sabotage, so then that's a sellout. But if we're all boxers and I'm not fighting Tech, and then Tech goes and gets asked to spar somebody that he's already known in the past to spar, I can't say he's a sellout. He's just doing his job. Shoot, you get paid to spar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
and another thing too, Doc. Another thing, Doc, is that Shakur trying to teach Jake Paul game on Gervonta is like, I got an MBA, you got a doctorate degree. That's like you telling me about engineering for the first day. Jake Paul ain't no boxer like that you could tell him something, he could apply that to his game. He's not a tank. Get the hell out of here. You stupid. That's a waste of conversation.
But I will say this, though. I kind of disagree with that, because it's just still the advice. You know what I'm saying? Whether I agree with you with the implementation. I don't think he can implement it anyway. You're right. I agree with that. But I will say that, Jake Paul, I think we do have to give him credit as far as having real fighters around. Like, Jay Leon Love is a real fighter. You know what I'm saying? He lost to Benavidez. Yeah. He was Floyd, and that's his trainer. He also used to have BJ Flores. I don't know if BJ Flores still works with him, but he was a cruiserweight champion. I see you, Kendrick. I'll pull you up. But yeah, I think that just because you may not be able to execute, you're still getting the experience or even the tips and stuff like that, so you can potentially try to execute. But like I said, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But I do think that if you do have a problem with it, then I think that this could be problematic. Especially with, like I said, it's just, to me, like, you called it a circus, bro, and then you go and join the circus. I think that's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like what Tank did. You said it's a money grab. Like, it's bad to do a money grab, and now you're doing a money grab. And the crazy part is that Bud was not even a money grab. It was really for legacy. You know what I'm saying? So, ain't nothing wrong with getting paid. I mean, but this is strictly just getting paid. So who's really broke? Is it Bud or Tank? So, it just looks contradictory. And I think that when you look contradictory, I mean, we're all guilty of that too. You know what I'm saying? Power of the tongue. The tongue is powerful, man. You got to be careful what you say, because you might end up, crucifying or condemning something, then mess around. You might do the same thing. So
that's what they say. Yeah. That's what I tell them. I tell them all the time. When you put something in the universe, it's like you talking to 1,000 people. Yeah. It's like you just said something to 1,000 people. For real. You said it to the universe. It's going to come back. The universe is universe. It'll come back and knock on your door. You have to stand on it. You're
right. You're right about that. Yeah. No, it happened to me so much time. I'll be like, that's why I try my best not to be judgmental, And I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I see something wrong, I'm going to say it. But, I try to, like, see all sides and try to be understanding more so than judgmental, But yeah, it happens to me too. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all might be like, "Oh man, that's crazy." I didn't do that. You put in the same situation. Now you're like, "Hold on."
Yeah, you do things. You be like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Oh, that's why I'm like, man, I'm always scared to be corrected because I know
Yep.
I may do some shit sometimes. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep. 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 But I do have to give myself credit too. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you will as well. Like you gotta I ain't never did no crazy foul, sell out off code stuff. You know, that's one thing I ain't never did. I can
Oh,
stand
yeah,
on that.
'cause you,
But you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
because what you do is based on your intentions. You know that.
right.
You what you
Yep.
do is
And your
based on your
integrity.
intentions. So,
Exactly.
yeah, based on your intentions. So that's why I
Right.
tell people, you do it. Come on, man. You can't be doing. We grown men now.
All
We
right.
had our time to make our mistakes. We had our time for that.
Right.
This is wrong.
Right. Tech said, who said Boots is a sellout? Who these guys sell out when they spar? So I agree, Tech. You know, but shout out to hey, my boy, walked it back. So shout out to him, man. Exhibition all the way. No punches will be thrown with bad. I agree, Tech. I don't think so, but you never know. We'll see. Some people think that they will be. I'm watching because Netflix production is fine. Yeah, nah, Netflix is doing their thing. Let me pull up Kendrick real quick. Let's see what he got going on. What up, Kendrick?
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Man, nothing much, man. How are you doing, bro?
I'm all right. You know what I mean? Still
Good.
trying to recover, but I'm good.
Hey, still that
What up, Ken?
recuperation phase,
Bro,
recuperation and recovery phase.
I ain't get into that, bro, because I've been fucking working since I came home. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna crash on Sunday. Those all right.
okay,
But
okay.
but I think we jumping the gun a little bit on this. I don't trust Jake Paul for shit. Like, I don't know why we take it what he say like it's the word of God. Like, what has Jake Paul said and done that we haven't seen where he troll himself into a situation a lot of times?
True.
He did it with Canelo. He did it with a lot of different people, right? He tried to do it with AJ.
Can you explain the Canelo and AJ one though? What you mean?
Yeah, so I believe that he talked about it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? His way into the conversation.
Okay, but they were about to fight though, right?
Yeah, but that was
Okay.
2 years after Jake Paul.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah. Right. But if it was for Turkey, we might have got Canelo with Jake, and then AJ was just a venue change. According to Eddie Hearn. Okay, go ahead. I just want to make sure that. Okay, go ahead. We're on the same page. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're saying that he kind of talked it into. I got you to manifest.
He trolled himself into that.
Okay.
The same thing with Tank. He trolled himself into this fight.
Okay.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So with Shakur, I'm not gonna jump the gun and say that Shakur called him just because Jake Paul said that.
Okay.
Because Jake Paul, it's not like he was like, yo, he called this manager, this, that, and the third. No, he said he talked to somebody on my team. He reached out to somebody on my team.
Yeah, he said his coaches. He said he reached out to his coaches.
Yeah.
On my team.
That sounds to me like, bro, what are we doing here?
Man.
Shakur is reaching out to you?
I don't know, man.
Shakur Stevenson?
I will say this though, Kendrick.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I'm with like that's why I said if, you know, that we go hypothetically if it's true, because they could be wrong. We know Jake Paul's a troll. But I will say this though. I always think Shakur's good. I think he's one of the best. You know what I'm saying? The only person I had beating him is Tank. And if Tank's not serious, I got Shakur beating him. But, I don't really care for his personality. I think I see, and I kind of see, to me, I know that y'all like him, see him differently than I see him. But to me, this goes with the corniness that I don't really care for. So I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's true, but this is why, I do think, I disagree with you that I do think it should be entertained, but I don't think that, I agree with you that we shouldn't act like it's set in stone. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I agree. I don't know. I'm just going off the hypothetical. But go ahead though. My bad.
And it's funny that you don't fuck with Shakur for the goofiness because Tank be doing more goofy shit and saying more goofy shit.
Like what? Like what?
For example, when Tank was talking about,
he does. He does. He does. I just want some examples.
Oh yeah, he's a biggest hater almost.
Oh yeah, he definitely a hater now. Oh, that's for sure. He definitely hating.
But that's goofy. That's what I'm saying. That shit is goofy to me.
Okay, but I see them all hating though. I feel like they all hating each other. Like, so I will say, I will say Shakur though. I always got to give him love for how he stood up for Devin Haney after the cheating stuff. I respected that.
Nah, I was gonna say stuff like that too, right? For example, when Devin Haney got cheated, right? What did Tank do? Tank was on Haney's head talking about that shit don't matter.
Yeah,
that and the third, right?
I agree.
And he was riding for Ryan. Like Ryan
that was corny. I agree. But I said that was corny too. I thought that was corny, and I thought it was corny when he talked about Bud's baby mama. Or not. I don't know if they're married. Wife. I should say baby mama.
Yeah.
I also called him out for that too. I thought that was corny.
That was another thing, right? And also the fact that he don't like, even when he's wrong, he don't give credit. Like he refuses to get to admit when he's, you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Because it's okay to go out on a limb and say what you say, you feel me?
Right.
As long as you double back and be like, yeah, you got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he don't do that at all.
But I will say this with the and not to defend him, but just to say that what was I lost it. Go ahead. That was something with Tank. Oh yeah. Well, Tank did. It's a different situation. But Tank did defend Devin Haney when people were talking about his current situation with his wife or whatever, or his girlfriend, or his fiance, or ex, whatever, about the lawsuit that he has or something like that. Like I said, I don't really get into it, but I of course I see it because I be seeing so much around. But Tank did defend him on that. That's why he was talking about people being in people's personal lives. He was talking about Devin Haney. He said, and he called somebody out, and then that's why the people are like, oh, he doesn't like his fans because one of the people that he called out was somebody that's obsessively pro Tank. And then he's supposed to be like Tank's biggest fan on Twitter, and he called him out for talking trash about Devin Haney's personal life. So sometimes they do be, you know what I'm saying? But hey, what up, Team Slime? Yeah, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Respectfully, that was a way to help himself in a way, because I'm sure he sees like, if they coming at him for that, imagine the shit that I do. And if I wanted to,
I don't know if it was self-serving, but I think but we can say the same thing for Shakur then, because Shakur talked about fight Ryan, so maybe he could be like, oh, I'm only saying Devin Haney PEDs matter because what if Ryan cheat me? You know what I mean? We could go down that. That's kind of a rabbit hole, but I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying though. I understand what you're saying though.
Everybody should say that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
Like Tank should be saying that.
I do agree with that part. Yeah, every fighter should contend BDs. I agree with that.
Hey, wasn't Tank the main person talking about, oh, Ryan, don't be on that shit? Like, and then now all of a sudden you act like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he also said it with Jake Paul too. And he didn't say specifically, but I'm assuming that I am assuming, but I'm assuming that's what he's talking about with PEDs when he was like, I don't know if did you watch the press conference? I know you're probably out.
No, I didn't watch it fully, you know.
Oh, okay. So with the press conference, he was like, oh, I'm gonna whoop your behind and I'm gonna whoop Jay Leon Love's behind if something. Yeah. He didn't go into detail though, and then they're like, "Oh, what you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Oh, you know what I'm talking about." I'm assuming he's talking about PEDs, but I don't know what he's talking. I don't know. He didn't specify. I'm assuming he's talking about PEDs.
Yo, you know what I see? I come from a whole different kind of picture with Tank because I listen to a lot of the shit that he's saying to now. I personally think Tank. Sometimes you be at war with yourself. Like facts, you know what I mean? When you miss the bus or you miss the ball, you be at war with yourself because he in a good situation. Something happened inside his Tank, inside his camp, because his whole demeanor changed. Like Tank wasn't like this. He was a smooth little dude, you know. He ain't talk too much, so you didn't have too much to say about him because he wasn't too much out there like that. Something happened. Something happened because he got real talkative. You know, he got real talkative.
That's what happened.
He got what?
He got fuck you money.
Oh. See, I hear I hear the humor. I just heard he got fucked. What?
No. I'm saying a little deeper than that because when you ask Tank a question, Tank always he never answered it. For some reason, he just divert the question. For some reason, he just never give you the straight answer, and he just do a lot of things. It's a little twitches that he do, and I be listening to him like, yo, Tank, why you just don't answer the damn question, man? Just answer the question for these people to get off your back. You keep taking them around the whole story. You keep involving everybody else in a simple-ass question. If you didn't do it, just say no and go on to the next thing. And that's why I say it's something going on in Tank camp because it's like he can't answer a question for both sides. You know, he mad at the fans. You know, the fans is on him. It's like it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and he ain't got nowhere to release it. So now he's saying, fuck the fans and fuck this. Like, he ain't got to answer nothing. He don't know how to handle this stardom. Or I don't think he knew he was big as he was. I don't know. But it's something going wrong inside Tank camp.
I agree with that.
It's something.
I'll tell you what I think. I don't know. Obviously, we're in the same boat. I don't know. We're outside looking in. But I think he's done. I think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to fight after this. Yeah. And Kendrick been saying that. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's gonna fight after this. Yeah, I think he has 1 foot out, 1 foot in. You know, we already talked about that, of course. But yeah, Kendrick said it a minute ago. Yeah, I think he's I think he's I agree with you. I think he's fighting with himself and stuff. But I think his fight is that if he wants to do it anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as
Well, I
boxing, you
think
know what I'm saying? So I think that's
but
his.
you know something, Doc?
You think it's
Something
the
else,
boxing or you think it's the fame?
I think
I
it's
think
everything.
it's a combination. Yeah, I think it's everything. I think
Yeah, I
that
think it's everything.
yeah, I think that it's so funny, Kendrick. We always talk about like advantages of, and Tank has said this himself too. Like some people fight because they chose to. I fought because I have to. And sometimes we think that when you have to fight or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like you do stuff because you have a greater purpose or you're doing it for the purpose of getting out of your current situation. And sometimes we act like that drive is bigger and better. But sometimes the person who does it because they want to, they might have more of a love for what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't have to do it. So I think with Tank, I believe him that he really did it because he saw it as a way out. Not that he necessarily loved it. You know what I'm saying? That he was good at it, he excelled at it. And he probably has a love for it, but maybe somebody like Devin Haney who didn't have to do it. That's what they say, right? He chose to do it because he likes to do it, whatever. And his dad brought him up, groomed him that way. Maybe he likes it more. Maybe he loves it. So I think it's a combination of both what you asked though, Kendrick. I think it's a fame for sure. But I also think it is the box that maybe he don't really care for it like that. And I think that kind of goes with the turmoil with Oster was talking about. Like, what I took out of out of the press conference was when I don't know, it's Jake Paul. Like you said, once again, it's Jake Paul. But Coach Calvin asked about the glove size. And it just seemed like whether or not Jake was telling the truth, to me, that's inconsequential. What stood out to me was that Tank and Coach Ford didn't seem like they were on the same page. As far as why the gloves were chosen, who chose it, did Tank really work? Because Tank tried to interrupt him and stop him. I don't know if he tried to stop him so Coach Ford wouldn't disclose something, or maybe he just didn't want to stop because Coach Ford's a serious guy. He didn't want to, they didn't want to kind of sabotage the lightheartedness of the press conference. Like I don't know why, but it just seemed like they weren't on the same page. And it's like, how are you and your trainer still not on the same page? And I don't even care about that, but it's just the fact that you weren't on the same page with Lamont Rhodes. That's why y'all didn't train together then. Now, of course, I'm not saying that they was breaking. I don't believe they're ever breaking up, but whether or not he couldn't be there, whatever, for whatever reason, there was rumors that they were breaking up or being fired or whatever, and now it seems like they're not on the same page again. To me, that was kind of troubling.
Yeah, that's how it be though, because doctor, on the real side, when you see things, we seen these people career, we seen this. For instance, it's like if it was.
And I could be wrong too. My fault. Let me say that I could be wrong. I'm saying that's what I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we
I'm not saying
we just trying to just figure it out a little bit because he ain't telling us, so that's what we got to do.
Right. That's why I make sure people like you give your opinion on it, so they make you like, oh, I'm acting like I'm Nostradamus. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I think. Yeah, go ahead though.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
and I just see from prior to we see them on press conferences talking. So you got to put all that together. You got to go back and put all this stuff together. What he be saying, him and Calvin, funny inside there, nobody knowing. It seems like nobody in Tank camp knows what's going on. It's like they're not on the same page because we can't get nothing together. It's like you talk to one person, talk to somebody else, and it's like, and then Tank demeanor. It's like he don't even want to get questioned. Did y'all peep how he didn't know what the fight date was?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. When he said, what the fight?
That
just had me fun. That just had me laughing. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, he wilded.
Huh?
No, I'm saying Tank out of pocket for that.
He out of pocket, bro. He said, what the fight?
Like, I said, you gotta love Tank, man.
You gotta rock with him. But let me interrupt real quick. I want to say what Tex said. Tex says Tank deserves every bit of the pressure he gets from fans. I agree with that 1,000% because I think what Oster said when we talked about this, was it yesterday, Oster? I think it was yesterday where he was like about the fans, that he don't respect the fans, and I agree. I'm not defending him when it comes to that, but I'm saying that I do think that sometimes and once again I can't relate, but as people we underestimate how annoying that could be, how much pressure that is, where somebody always talk about you every second, and then have you under the microscope, and people say, oh yeah, well, you're rich. Yeah, but everybody that's rich don't go through that. It's the celebrity and the fame that Kendrick was talking about, and sometimes we do got to realize that it's not their fault that what they do comes with a lot of money and a lot of cameras. You know, so I'm not saying that you can't be responsible like Denzel. Denzel's responsible, but everybody don't live the same lifestyle, brother. And everybody, you think that he's the only one doing crazy stuff like that? No, a lot of people do what you know what I'm saying. Not just Tank. I'm saying everybody. So I could understand why he says F the fans, and when he elaborates further on the fans that he's talking about, that he's wrong because I don't think he expresses himself the best, right? And I'm not giving him an out. I'm just saying what I observe. So we may not perceive it as that. But when he says F the fans and he goes on further to elaborate, you guys are in people's personal business. Well, then to me, he's talking about certain types of fans that are invasive. He's not talking about all the fans, but they are fans too. So I never really get offended by that. But you shouldn't. I agree with Oso. You shouldn't say that because your occupation is supported heavily by the fans. So you got to recognize that as well. And you got to also remove your personal feelings from it and know that all the fans aren't like that. You do have real boxing fans, not just the overzealous, gosh dang, super excited, groupie like fans that are in your business all the time. So, but I agree with Tech. Yeah, he deserves the pressure for the fans, because when you say stuff like F the fans, you don't give them explanations, and you do say you do what you want and all stuff, then yeah, you can't expect people to like you. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't, you can't be mad at them. Sometimes people don't like you because they are hateful. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They discriminatory, they're prejudiced or racist, but sometimes they don't like you because you're an asshole, bro. Like sometimes, you know, there's that too. You know what I'm saying? We can't act like every time somebody doesn't like you is because they're hating on you because of your skin color or your religion or your sexual orientation. No, some people just don't like you because you're not likable. That it is what it is. I like Tank, but I didn't go down. I'm in Florida. I didn't go to the press conference. I don't like him that much. You know, no disrespect. I mean, I like him I like him in the capacity of a fighter. I'm not like I like T.I. as a rapper. I don't like him personally. I don't know him. But when he drops an album, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna listen to it. But I'm not going out my way to do anything to rock with T.I., Beyonce, Luka Doncic. I don't know them like that. I like them for what they do in that. But maybe I'm different. I compartmentalize things. I don't know. So shout out to Tank. I don't know if I like Tank as a person. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I think. I be telling my girl,
I probably wouldn't, bro. Yeah, I just go up in the ring.
You know, funny thing about boxing, Doc, is that, you know, a boxer's like a real good celebrity boxer is like a Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Because like you know, like Mike Tyson is like a Michael Jordan. Boxing only need one day to fight. And the rest of these days is your personality. Boxing is a hard when you get to be like a real celebrity, like a Tank.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's hard.
It's hard, bro.
It's tough. You in the ring one day. Other than that, fans are just waiting and talking. And another thing too is that fans got their own thing going. Fans kill fans behind their favorite fighter, their favorite fan, or whatever it is. So it's a big
musician, athlete.
It's real. This is real on the fan base. That's why fans be so serious. Because, like I take the Tank, that's all you shouldn't say it to the public, because you know you got two people outside arguing about you right now, Tank, and they friends and they arguing about you like
they friends.
For real. You know that. They ain't got nothing to do. They on the ready to kill each other for you, dog. For real. So it's crazy.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I agree with 90% of the stuff you said. I just had one pushback for one statement.
Yes, sir.
And it was a statement of they don't choose. You know what I mean? The fact, like the you said something along the lines of they don't choose the fact that their profession is reliant on the fans.
Oh yeah. I said something like that. Yeah, like camera. Yeah. Yep. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I think that's false though. I think that's false. Because you going into boxing, like you ain't becoming a psychologist. Like you're not becoming a fucking engineer. Like you know what this business is. This business has been the business for hundreds of years.
Right. So I wasn't saying that they don't know. Yeah. I was just saying that sometimes you accept things that like I'm glad you brought up engineering, right? And psychologist, what you do, and engineer, what I do. Like for example, using that, I got into engineering because I like to work on things. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to see how things are built, how to make things work, how to make things function. I like to know how parts interact with each other, right? And how we as a user interfaces with that. I didn't get into engineering because I like to present in front of freaking company, you know what I'm saying? Stakeholders and stuff, you know, but that's just part of it that I accept, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I would see it. It's not that I didn't know, but you have to, I agree with you. So you have to accept it, but I still think that I don't okay. So it's like we had this conversation yesterday. I know you were here, but it's like being a role model. Ideally, all of us would be a role model. You know what I'm saying? Like we'd be role model, but it's like with Tiger Woods or Harvey Weinstein, right? Or, I shouldn't put Tiger Woods to Harvey Weinstein. Let me just use Tiger Woods.
That was crazy, dog. Nah,
No, the point what I was gonna say. But let me finish first. Let me finish first. I'm saying that you're not responsible to be a good person. I was trying to say that they weren't good people, but yeah, Tiger's different though. That's not Harvey Weinstein's a monster. Tiger, I want to say he's a monster, but what I'm saying is like people are so disappointed that he cheated on his wife. He never said he was the best husband. He never said he was a good role model or your pastor or your doctor. He said he was good at golf, and he barely said that. And you put all these expectations on him. Ideally, you wouldn't practice infidelity. You would be a faithful husband, but he didn't sign up for that part. But that's the part that he gets, and everybody's disappointed in a rich man for having multiple women. He's rich. You know what I'm saying? So many rich men do that. You feel me? So and rich women too. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be a good person or be responsible or whatever. What I'm saying is that we don't know these people, and that's the Harvey Weinstein was crazy. But I'm saying Harvey Weinstein's a monster. Like Harvey Weinstein, they're monsters. R. Kelly's just a good singer. Harvey Weinstein's just a good film producer. I don't even know if he's good. He just got money. You know what I'm saying? Where you can hire people that are good. So but he's a monster. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to say because I don't think that you're obligated. I mean, of course, heavenly, you know what I'm saying, spiritually, we should be obligated to be good people, but everybody's not a good person just because they're famous. That's what I was trying to say. And I'm saying that everybody doesn't necessarily want to be famous. It's just something that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? I agree. He has to respond. He shouldn't say F the fans like Tech said in the chat too. You know what I'm saying? Because without the fans, no sport. But at the same time too, I don't know how much of that he wanted. You feel me? That's what I was trying to say. So thank you for letting me elaborate. That's what I was trying. I'm
not pressing take on the F the fans comment because I agree with him. Right. These fans be on some bullshit.
They be on some bullshit. All fans. Look at the dude that came here today. Out of everything I said, he pointed out that, oh, why you mad at Virgil Ortiz when Boots and Boo Boo Andre?
But the thing about
Boo Boo Andre? Who the heck can talk about Boo Boo Andre?
Yeah, but the thing about it though, thing is that that's just a fan. What fans is, you got to know how to be a celebrity. Mm-hmm. You can't tell a fan how to be a fan because there's all different types of fans. You got to learn how to be a celebrity. That's the more important.
I agree with that. I agree. But
on the fans.
But once again though, Osa, in my opinion, go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I
was gonna say to say that part is like, but even still, it's still about a person, and we're putting more responsibility on a person to be able to how he should or shouldn't react to other people. And so I mean, I get it, he's a celebrity, yes, but you don't, bro, like I said, with Denzel or Tom Hanks, I'm not saying that they're infallible, but I never heard about them getting in trouble. Robert Downey Jr., he's good now, but before he was snorting coke everywhere, you know what I'm saying, he was DUIs and all this other stuff. I don't know, is he responsible for being a good role model? Like I don't know if he's responsible. You should be a good person, and we should clap up Denzel or Tom Hanks or whoever else doesn't get in trouble like that. But I want to say too that it's like I don't know if what anybody else is doing is necessarily worse than Robert Downey Jr. going through career sabotage and being in freaking rehabs and stuff like that. And I mean, he got himself together now, but he's like freaking 50. Yeah, shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, take it 30. He young.
But check this out. Like,
you're grown, man. Love that.
I mean, no, he grown. I'm saying relative to Trump grabbing him by the poom poom, and he was 60. Talking about he was young.
That nigga signed.
Come on,
that nigga signed $1 million check.
I was gonna be my point, right?
He didn't know you.
You were skipping out, Kendrick.
Yeah,
my bad. I'm saying we still hold people to a higher standard depending on their positions. Like, I mean,
right. But he still got the president though. He became the president after that.
Exactly.
Check this out though. When it comes to these people and these stars, this is also serious side. This is how we get to understand each other. Like, they got to learn how to be a celebrity, and they most definitely got to understand when they get here that it's not about you. You got to get out your emotions. I'll put celebrities in the status of like police. Nobody like the police. The police got to learn how to deal with the people.
Yeah, but
people don't got to learn how to deal with the police.
But see, that's
serious.
Yo, you're right, but that to me that's different. I'm not trying to be a butthole just to be a contrary, just be a contrarian. You're signing up to serve and protect. That's what you're signing up for. So you are literally signing up to protect people and to de-escalate and to be pretty much a modern day hero. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to look at police as Batman and Superman, and granted their actions. Now, there's some that are like that. There's some good ones, of course. You know, I'm gonna say that. I don't want to make sense, but like there's some bad ones that unfortunately go unchecked. So I think that that's different. I think that this goes back to what I was saying to Kendrick, and I'm not saying you got to agree, but it's like me being a musician, right? I like to rap, so I like to be in the studio. I may not like to interact with the fans and sign autographs and all that stuff, but that I know that comes part with it. That's part of it, like Tech is saying, you know what I'm saying? That's what you signed up for. That's part of it. You should accept it. And some people will be better than others. But at the end of the day, I didn't sign up for the human interaction. I might have signed up because I like the artistry of it. You know what I'm saying? And same with boxers, you know, but when you say police, this is what I'm pushing back. As a police, you're signing up to protect and serve. And
same thing as boxers. Anything that you do that you're gonna be in the public eye, you signing up for propaganda. It comes with it, no matter what. It comes with it.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that.
Okay, but listen, hear me out. Look, Doc, I'm telling you, look, put it this way. That's why people like us could say anything we want on the channel now and this and that, because you kind of big, but they give you a little penalty. But if you was a million followers, you was a million followers, you know what I mean, and things like that. Seriously, if you got like 4 million followers and everything that you said is being scrutinized.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But even me is different though, because I know that I'm speaking to people. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not. My intent is to speak to people. That's my intent. His intent is to box. His intent is to make music. His intent is to be a doctor. His intent is to be a psychologist. His intent, you know what I'm saying? Like now, what if? Okay, so for example, Kendrick is a psychologist. Let's say he has his own practice. Not even his own practice. It don't even have to be his own practice. Say somehow he interacts with. He has some type of famous client. Now all of a sudden he's famous now.
Yeah.
So now he has a responsibility to change his lifestyle to accommodate people that are watching him. Fuck no, hell no.
100%.
Hell no. That's smart. That's smart to do. But I'm saying you at some point we are putting our expectations on other people to control how they act. Some people are people, bro. Like you should be good, ideally, but you might not believe in God. You may not have these values. You may not have these morals. You know, you may not have whatever it is. So I gotta expect you to just change because you're good at what you do and I'm watching. Man, freak that, bro. I'm watching you box. I ain't watching you talk.
But that's what I'm saying about. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Because like as a person,
as a person, I agree with that. As a person,
I'm gonna get together. I'm telling you, man.
I agree with that. No, I agree with you.
It's just the way the world is. So if he don't understand, because ain't nobody putting their hands on him, he box. Ain't nobody putting your hands on you, so he don't understand somebody talking about something on the internet. See, when people get upset with things, sometimes they'll maybe have a point, maybe, because if you don't give a fuck about it, it's like whatever, it's cool. You know what I mean? But when you answer things and you go another route, why are you letting these things bother you? I don't understand that, because all the stacks is on your side. You ain't got to pay attention to them. You can get somebody else to answer. You can get the public. You can do a bunch of stuff.
That's why I disagree, because then he'll turn to Terrence Crawford. And no disrespect to Terrence Crawford, but you see what I'm saying, though, Kendrick?
But he want the fame. So this is what you got to understand.
No, Terrence Crawford wants the fame too. Why do you think Terrence Crawford's not considered? He's not respected, or not even respect. He's not desired because they like now with social media, people want the access. If they don't have the access, then you're not going to be known. So it's like, okay, so you want the access, bet. So this is who I am. Okay, but I don't like who you are. I want you to change. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so much like, bro, because if you don't like shout out to Tech Dumb Dad, he says stay off of social media and get your ass to the gym. Well, this is why I defend Shakur. I'm not a big Shakur fan, but if Shakur has his fighting style that people don't like and he's not on social media, he's dead. Then no one's gonna pay attention to Shakur. He can't just stay in the gym because we already don't like his fighting style. I'm talking about not me individually or anybody in the panel or anybody in the channel. I'm talking about as a whole. We already don't like his fighting style. And he stays off of social media, he's dead. Then no one's gonna pay attention to Shakur.
But listen to this though, Doc. They like Tank, and Tank, he got all the stacks on his side.
Okay, but why do they like Tank though, Oster? Let's be honest now. Why do they like Tank?
In the ring? Huh? What do you do inside the
ring? Right.
So
and the outside part. What part do they like on the outside too?
That's fan base. That could be.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that. They like the ignorant. They like a lot of the ignorant stuff.
Yeah, but that's the fan base, though. But that's why I said.
I got you. That's why I thought you were going. My fault.
Celebrity, because listen, Jordan got his shit. Every one of these
But
celebrities.
see, but
got
even
something
Jordan
with
is
them.
outdated though, bro. Because Jordan,
No, but listen
no
what I'm saying,
disrespect,
though.
he didn't have
When
social
I'm-
media. That's outdated.
That's facts,
I
but
think if
Crawford-
Terrence Crawford fought when Jordan, I think Terrence Crawford would be big. But it's
Yeah,
because
but
of his
Crawford- listen,
personality, he's more
Crawford-
conservative, and there's like he's not an outgoing person. I think that's why he struggles.
But
Has
no,
nothing to
but
do
what
with
I'm
the
saying is
skill.
this.
Okay.
No, hear me what I'm saying. When he opened his mouth, his words is choosing right. Because he's not a talker. That's why I don't understand why Tank keep opening his mouth. He got to be mad inside because he keep blurting shit out that it ain't making no sense what you saying. It's just not.
But I think that's the part that maybe I'm not communicating it effectively. What I'm saying is that I agree that Terrence Crawford says the right things, or when he does speak, he doesn't really say much, but when he does speak, he said, "Yeah, that's why I rock with Terrence Crawford. I like him. I think he's genuinely himself, and that's why I think he's also ideally he would be the biggest boxer." You know what I'm saying? Because that's what his skills prove. But what I'm saying is that he's not big or acknowledged like that because of his lack of speaking out. So on one hand, we acknowledge that, right? Because that's what we say is a knock on Terrence Crawford. We say that it's his personality. He lacks charisma or whatever. He doesn't speak out. He's not outgoing. But then the guy who is outgoing, we say, oh, you shouldn't be outgoing like that. You should be outgoing like. What I'm saying is that we put, but it doesn't matter. That's him. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not defending. What I'm saying is that at some point we have to, we put people in impossible. I'm gonna give you another example. We put people in impossible situations. Like the other day, I made a video and you can go check. He deleted it now, but I took a screenshot of it. This guy claimed that he was Oscar Collazo's brother. I made a video about Oscar Collazo, and this dumb bitch, he gonna tell me, because I called Oscar Collazo Puerto Rican American in the video, right? Trying to be respectful, right? The dude told me that, oh, no disrespect, but Oscar Collazo's not American. I can't believe this guy really thinks he's American. And I said, bitch, I don't care about your personal feelings or loyalties or allegiances. I called him American because Puerto Rico is an American territory. I said, if you're mad at me, go talk to the president. And I said, oh, it's the same president as mine, dummy. And he deleted this comment, maybe because Oscar Collazo, maybe he really is his brother. Oscar Collazo saw it and told him to delete it. I don't know, but he deleted his comment. But I took a screen. I'm gonna show you right now. But my point is that I'm gonna show you right now. But my point is, thank you, Kendrick. But Kendrick, if I do not acknowledge him as American, he might not complain, but another Puerto Rican dude will complain. So at some point, we got to realize, this is the point I'm getting at. Sometimes we got to realize that we put people in impossible situations to where they're gonna lose it. It's a catch-22. If I do it. If I call him American, I'm wrong because he's Puerto Rican, even though Puerto Rican is not a country. But if I call him Puerto Rican and I don't say he's American, then I'm exclusive. Yeah, I'm excluded.
You see what I'm saying? American Puerto Rican, then you stupid.
Then I'm stupid. And I literally called him both. I literally said Puerto Rican American. I literally covered every base, and this bitch still complained. I'll beat your little ass. I'll beat you and Oscar. Bitch, you fight at minimum weight. Don't get it twisted. I'm being nice. Hey, yo, Doc, don't get it twisted. In fact, I'm gonna be honest too. I'm actually killing my engagement. Ain't nobody watching no freaking minimum weight. You lucky I'm even covering this shit. You should thank me. Ain't nobody watching no freaking Oscar Collazo. Fuck out of here, bro. You come at me. Like, people get it twisted because you're being nice, and I'm covering the sport, bro. I could be covering anybody. Don't get it twisted. I'm not some super Oscar Collazo fan. You get the freak out my face. That just pissed me off, bro. I go. Like the man try to make it seem like I should know what Oscar Collazo likes. Man, I don't give a freak about no gosh dang Oscar Collazo. Now you got me being disrespectful on behalf of his brother. But look, check it out right here. Look, he said, me and my brother, I have it on the stream. I'm gonna let you go, Oster. My bad. You just remind me of this. He said, me and my brother Oscar were watching this video in the airport, and we were wondering if this dude really thinks Oscar represents U.S. boxing. To clarify, Oscar is loyal and only loyal to Puerto Rico, the nation of our family. He doesn't like when people call him. Here, come on, it's not a nation. Thank you. So you're already ignorant. He said he doesn't like when people add him on the U.S. boxing list. In fact, on every fight, he tells the fans he encounters to refer to him as Puerto Rican only. What?
Cool.
I'm responding. I'm reading my response. I was very nice too. But I mean, I was sarcastic a little bit too. But I said, you think I care about any of that bullshit you just said? I said Puerto Rican. And I also said Puerto Rican American. And I also said American, not because I give two flying F's about how you or anybody else identifies, but simply because Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. I said that means that it's part of the U.S. Since you obviously aren't smart enough to deduce that on your own. I said I'm talking boxing, not personal allegiances or affiliations. I said sorry, but you're not that important to me for me to care if you like it or not. Take it up with your president. ... Oh wait, your president is the same as mine. And I said, but if you're bothered by it, tell your brother Oscar, quote unquote, that he's more than welcome to come and talk about it as a guest. If not, kick rocks. And I said, happy Sunday to you from your American brother. Fucking dumbass. You're stupid as hell, bro. But I'm saying that to say that, and I'm not saying you're doing that also. That's an extreme case. But what I'm saying is that we will tell people to talk more. And then if they talk more, we may not like them anyway because they may not say the things that we want them to say or expect them to say. But then at the same time, if they talk less, then we're not gonna pay attention because they're not interesting enough. You see what I'm saying? So part of what I'm saying is I'm not defending Tank, but maybe part of the reason why people like him, which is why I thought you was going and I was incorrect. You were just talking about in the ring stuff. But I was saying that maybe a reason, unfortunately, maybe the reason why people like Tank is because he's an asshole. Sometimes, bro, people are crazy, bro. Look at the big streamers and the people that are popular. A lot of them are buttholes, bro. A lot of people that are famous off their personalities, not because they have good personalities. It's because they're divisive or they look at the person, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace, you know, to the person that, you know, that recently passed away, that was murdered. And that's definitely wrong. But he wasn't the nicest person, especially the people that look like me. But he was popular. He wasn't college educated, was he, Kendrick? He dropped out, but he was popular and people saw him as an intellectual. Why was he popular? Because he's very divisive. So a lot of times people like the asshole. Look at Teofimo. Teofimo gets talked about way more than Gary Anto Russell. He be calling people some monkeys and some more shit. So unfortunately,
Russell asshole too.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, well, yeah, he's asshole. But I'm saying he be saying some silly stuff too. But he's not as expressive as like a Teofimo is what I meant to say. So like, or maybe let me use Andy Hiroka. Sometimes we like that. You know what I'm saying? So he's very quiet, reserved, at least for what we know of right now. So a lot of times we like the butthole. I'm not saying it's good. I think ideally Terrence Crawford beat Canelo. He's the face of boxing. His skills proves that he's the best. He should be the face of boxing just off of victories. But it's not like that. Alexander Usyk, he's not. Bro, if you notice, none of the top 3 boxers are the face. Usyk, Inoue, or Bud. Which Bud is number 1. But Bivol number 4. He's not the face. So, like, it's not enough to just be good, bro. That's social media. That's why I said, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's why I said that Michael Jordan is outdated to me, because that reference is like, maybe Jordan wouldn't have been liked. I don't know. Social media is different. It's different. You get more. Everybody want to know what you're eating for breakfast, who you're dating, who you fucking, who you sleeping with, what your orientation, what your religion. Everybody want to know everything. What time you pick up your kids from school.
Yep.
They want to know everything.
But
bro.
That's the fucking way it is, though. That's just the weirdness of it, and that's why you got to implement that in what you do, because that's what's leading it. So that's why me personally, when it comes to people, when they say out of their mouth, they accountable for it. I agree
with you. No, you're right with that. I can't.
If it come out your mouth, you most definitely accountable.
And you're an adult. I agree with you. No, you're right about that.
Yeah. If this is a court case, and the way certain people answer questions, they'd be guilty. They'd be straight guilty. They'd blow trial just because they ain't answering the proper question. They'd blow trial, and that's how the streets treat you. That's how they treat you. When you be that celebrity, that's a hard shit, man.
That's all I'm saying right there. That last part. I think it's more difficult than we know. Excuse me.
Yeah, I would be a Tank, but I would have been a Tank from the beginning. I'd have been said fuck you, because I knew what Tank was. Swear to God, they would have knew what Tank was.
And shout out to Tech. I want to say, he added, look what Tech just said. He says all you need to know about boxing, you can be a GOAT like Bud and not be as big as Ryan effing Garcia. And bro, and look, and it's not just, and you know what, Oster, it's not just the fans, because I was just reading an article, I was watching an interview with Max Kellerman. And I love Max. I think he's the best, bro. Hands down, I think he's the best commentator, analyst. I think he's been looking shaky lately, but I think he's the best. But check what he said though. Max Kellerman, they were talking about the face of boxing, and they brought up Shakur and Teo. They said, "Oh, the winner of Shakur and Teo could potentially become the face of boxing," and I love that sentiment. But then what Max Kellerman followed up with? He said, because it wasn't his question, it was somebody else's question. He said he thinks skill wise, Teofimo or Shakur winner could potentially be the face of boxing as far as growing to that. But he said he thinks it's too early because we have to see what Gervonta Tank Davis does, even though he's fighting Jake Paul, which is cool. He said we need to see what he does afterwards. And then he said Ryan Garcia. He said we have to see what happens when Ryan Garcia steps back in the ring. What? Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly. He lost to Tank. They quit. He cheated Devin Haney. His best win is arguably Luke Campbell. No disrespect to Luke or Oscar Duarte. No disrespect to those two, but that's not somebody that's a face of boxing. But because of what Tech just said, because his popularity. And is Ryan the nicest person? He done said the N-word, talk about resurrecting and reviving just to kill George Floyd again. He done said all types of saving kids, following Jesus in the same sentence of smoking on a Haney pack. Like, so, like, you know what I'm saying? He drinking and coming in overweight and disrespecting Caleb Plant's wife. This is the guy that we're talking about being the face of boxing. Not Terrence Bud Crawford, who's good. Not because he's good, but because Ryan Garcia is popular. He's not popular for pure intentions. He's popular for nefarious intentions, mostly. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kendrick.
What is Ryan? What is Ryan? He's one of those things. What is he?
A plant.
Because he ain't real. Exactly. Ryan is not a plant, bro. Ryan doesn't have any real statistical backing besides his YouTube subscribers. That's really it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, these are facts, man. Like, that's why I be saying, how we get in a conversation with these dudes? Where your dudes come from? This boy really came from the internet, man.
Yes.
But the little amateur stuff, but he came from the internet. Like,
but his personality, though.
Me, like,
he was punching random people in his stomach. That's what made him popular. Punching random people in his
personality, bro. Look at Jake Paul. Jake Paul about to fight Tank. He's a social media influencer. I'm not saying it's a good personality or whatever. That's for you to determine. That's debatable. But what's not debatable is his personality is what got him where they're at. That's the kind of age we're living. It's not about, I don't know. It's less about substance and more about, I guess, how you deliver it, presentation. I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know, Kendrick. I don't even know.
It's not even personality. It's antics. It's the antics.
Antics. There you go. Thank you. Which is I think is influenced by your personality. But you're right. Antics. I think that's better. Yeah, antics.
Yeah, it's the antics. It's where they put it in today's time. They could, it's like a million goalposts now. So you don't know what goalposts we're talking about.
Bro,
I mean, because every time you get to one, they move.
You feel me?
So,
Max Kellerman ain't say Junto. And like you said, it's the goalpost, right? Because he ain't say Junto Nakatani, bro. He ain't say, give me another guy he ain't say David Benavidez. He ain't say, I think David Benavidez was brought up. Let me know, but he didn't bring him up, but he was brought up, I think. But he didn't say B-Vol, or I guess it's already proven that he can't be the face of boxing. Like a person.
About Boots?
He didn't say Boots. He ain't say Boots, bro. He said Ryan Garcia. Kendrick, he said Teofimo Shakur. After that, he said Tank. Then he said Ryan Garcia, bro. He ain't say Boots. He ain't say Inoue. He ain't say Junto Nakatani. He ain't say Bakram Murtazaliev. He ain't say anybody that's a championship caliber young up and coming guy. He said Ryan Garcia, bro. Nobody of substance. Thank you. That's it right there. Nobody of substance. He said Ryan Garcia, bro.
The one that's on the substance.
Come on, bro. That's on the substance, right? He ain't say nobody of substance. He said somebody that's on the substance, right, bro? I mean, it's like the Ring Magazine. The Ring Magazine is supposed to be the quote unquote Bible of boxing, right? You would think that it would be righteous to have the champions rated, bro. I made a video about it. Rolly Romero is the WBA champion. He's not in the welterweight rankings. That's cool. But if you notice why, because he had the little he publicly outed his experience with Turkey Al-Sheikh. And what's crazy, he's a WBA champion, not in the rankings. But then you have the WBA mandatory in the rankings, Shakran Giyashov. And then you have the former WBA champion and Montes Stanionis in the rankings. But you don't have the current champion? It's politics, bro. I guarantee you, if Ryan Garcia was a WBA champion, he'll be in the rankings. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, bro.
If he would have won that fight.
Come on now.
If he'd have won that fight.
You got the WBA mandatory in the rankings. You got the WBA former champion in the rankings, but you don't have the current WBA champion in the rankings. Make it make sense, bro.
But yes, sir. I'm going to make it make sense. You feel me? So we know, first of all, I'm gonna start with Max, right? We know Max has a history of speaking out against his employers and getting shit on, right? So Max got PTSD, right? And then we know that Ryan Garcia,
and he was shelved too. He was shelved. He just got back. He
literally just got back, bro.
You're right.
Like, he got one pass. He ain't trying to go back.
You right.
You feel me?
You right.
He ain't trying to go back to the gulag. Yeah, that nigga in the gulag.
In the gulag. Oh my gosh, bro.
And then you got somebody like Ryan Garcia. Let's talk about why he would even mention Ryan Garcia. Let's talk about the Ring's relationship with Ryan Garcia.
Come on now.
When we seen the fight between Rolly and Ryan happen, it was a regular fight.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, at the press conference, we got a belt standing there. Some random ass.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Intern belt for somebody who just defended them.
Yep.
Actually, sorry, somebody just lost their belt, right? Somebody just won the belt. Boots had just won the belt, right?
Yep, he just won it. Yep,
from
Stanionis. Yep, unification. Yep, all of a sudden it's an intern belt up for grabs. Yep.
So how is that intern belt and within a month of somebody winning the belt?
Yep.
Suspect,
bro.
right? And then they do all this craziness. They make Ryan the A side, right? When he
Yep.
don't got no accolades compared to
Nope.
Rolly.
Nope.
The best fight was against the same person essentially.
Yep.
And it ended the same damn way. But Rolly is a champion already.
Yep.
Ryan never been a champion,
Yep.
but they still put him as the A side.
Yeah.
So when we look at it, clearly there's a strategic push for Ryan in the Ring magazine.
Facts.
If you're actually paying attention.
Facts. And
So
and he
it makes
hosted.
sense that
He was
Max
suspended,
would
but they still let him host the Ring Magazine Awards.
Exactly.
Devin Haney was also on the card. He's the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era as a male. He wasn't even the headliner. Neither was Teofimo.
Exactly.
Neither was, and I don't like Teofimo either. But right is right. He's the current champion, the most decorated champion, I'd say, at 140, and the longest reigning champion at 140 currently right now. He's a good fighter. He wasn't the headline either, but Ryan Garcia was.
Exactly. So it's obvious. The push is obvious if you pay attention.
Yeah.
So Max is just on payroll. That's all.
Yep. Shout out to Max.
Yeah, Max, yo, when I heard him talk,
I still like him, but guys,
I said, oh God, Max, man, they got you, Max. God damn.
Yeah.
I said they got you. I swear to
Turkey
God,
buddy,
I said
bro.
they got you. Yo, I said they got my man. I said they got my man. They dogging on my people, man. That's why I don't like
bro.
all my people. They dogging them, man. Dang.
Hey, at least it's something you could say it's some type of political thing. For me, bro, my favorite fighter's been looking bad. Canelo lost. Tank had a draw. Now you coming back to fight Jake Paul, bro. I've been going through it this year, boy. Hey, my favorite fighter's looking bad. Bro. I hope Juto Nakatani don't get smoked by Sebastian Hernandez. I don't know. I'm about to cut to my channel, bro.
So you saying your matchmaker is good? You got to get some new matchmaker.
Hey, I gotta tighten up. I gotta go holler at Frank Warren or holler at y'all or something. I'm out here looking like Dub. Dub 2024 was terrible. Dub was like, anybody Dub pick, you knew to pick the opposite. I'm approaching Dub atmosphere, Dub territory. Yeah, bro, I'm looking bad, boy. I'll still be getting some picks right, but my favorite fighter's been looking bad. Shout out to Juto Nakatani holding it down. Even Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant got upset of the year, in my opinion. And that's one of my favorite fighters right there, too. Boy, I've been looking bad, boy. 2025 been bad for your boy.
Oh, Tim Zoo,
too. Tim Zoo got packed up again. I was big on Tim Zoo. Hey, boy. Tim
Zoo, man. Damn.
Hey, bro, I've been looking. Edgar Berlanga got packed up by Shiraz. Hey, bro, I've been looking bad, bro. Paro lost the Hitchenses too. I mean the Hitchens. Richards and Hitchens packed up Paro, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Hey man, I gotta stop calling people my favorite fighters because they looking bad, boy. They looking bad, boy. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, Juto Nakatani, my last hope. Hey, Brian Norman. I like Brian Norman a lot too, boy. Hey, Brian Norman and Juto are my last two. That's my last hope right there, boy. Dr. New Eddie.
I wanted to say one more thing about the Jake Paul and Shakur thing.
Go ahead. My fault.
The real reason why I think Jake is capping because I feel like if anybody was to reach out to Jake's team to help him fight Tank, it would be Lamont Roach, not Shakur.
That would make more sense. That's what I say.
Yeah, maybe they both reached out, but no, I definitely agree with Lamont.
Yeah, that don't make no sense at all.
He's the only person who has the resume and the capabilities and the actual proven, work to show like, yo, I could get you through this fight. Like,
yeah, he the only one. He didn't get the safe open, but he damn near got it open. You know what I mean? He didn't get it open, but he damn near got it open. So if I go to anybody for any kind of advice, it would most definitely. Why would I go to the other 28 people that got knocked out? That don't make no sense. Why would I go to somebody that he didn't fight? That don't make no sense. I'm going to this guy.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Albert, man. What's good, bro? No, I agree with you. I mean, I just think that like I said, I wouldn't put it past Shakur, but like I said, I don't think that it's a sellout thing. I don't think it's. I do think it's corny, but I'm not corny because of him and Tank though. I think it's corny because he called it a circus, and the fact that if you think it's trash, which I agree that it's a circus, then why would you be part of it? It's just because it would just be to spite Tank, or. Yeah. Well, yeah, they ain't no or, yeah. I don't think everybody can be corny sometimes. They don't want to be a corny or petty or whatever you want to call it, but I don't think it's a sellout thing.
I think it's equivalent to somebody saying, "Yo, I hate your channel, Doc, but always on here talking shit." That's all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what people do all the time, right? With the press
exaggerated.
conference. Oh, I hate this
They
fight.
do shit
They
all
go
the
to the
time.
press conference just to say how much they hate the fight. Bitch, why you watching bitches talk? If you not, you know, you watching people, you're not even watching them fight. You watching them talk and you to say how much you don't like the fight. Shout out to Boxing Fix, man. Your Boxing Fix, my guy in the building. What's good, bro? Sorry, I saw you in here. I was letting the homies cook, man. Letting my brothers cook. He said, Rolly Romero is another one that has capitalized on the ability to attract a following by being entertained outside the ring. Yeah, facts. Hey, man, let me know if about the thing, too, man. I know you're supposed to get up about the your streaming stuff, too, man. Holler at me about it if you have any specific questions. He said, what happened if Tank knocks out Jake? Is that the end of Jake? I don't think it's the end of Jake.
It's a
I
fake
think,
fight. You can throw Jake off a roof.
He could, Jake could get, I don't think.
You can throw him off a roof. He'd be all right.
Yeah, I don't think that Jake is. Like I said, I mean, I think Jake Paul is. First of all, we gotta remember he lost already. You know, he's not undefeated. A lot of people think he's undefeated, but he lost to Tommy Fury, and he's still doing his thing. So, I do think that, especially people expect no matter how much bigger Jake is, we still expect Tank to win, which is, you know, which makes sense. He's a boxer, but at the same time, the size is unfavorable to say the least. So I think that Jake losing, I don't think it does much. Tank losing, I think does a lot. I think Tank, I'm not gonna say he's done either, because at the end of the day it is an exhibition. But if he gets knocked out,
if he get knocked out, they gonna talk about that. You know? They gonna talk about it. If he lose, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. I ain't even.
I have a question though.
Down. Yeah, I'm like, what?
Do exhibitions have winners and losers? Like I mean,
that's what I'm saying,
they don't, right?
though.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm like, oh man, this is a weird.
Yeah. Don't forget to smack that like button. Like for example, like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. I remember that one. I don't remember if it was a draw or they
no winners.
No winners. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I mean, as long as neither one of them gets knocked out, I don't think either one of them lose. But I will say this: I think that if Tank doesn't knock out Jake, I think it's worse. People are gonna say, "Oh, you went the distance with Jake Paul." The only win of this is the money for Tank, in my opinion. Or well, if he knocks him out, then he could say, "Oh yeah, I got revenge for all boxers." And Mike Tyson, like he said, you know what I'm saying, got recompense for him going in there with 60-year-old Mike Tyson, stuff like that. But as far as like being a real win, like you're not gonna, you know, I remember in college, right? I got in a fight with this dude, right? And then my homeboy, this dude was an asshole, but my homeboy was like, this guy was bigger than me, but we were talking about it. I don't remember exactly how it went, but at the end of the day, after the fight or whatever, after I whooped or whatever, the dude was like, he's like, man, you know, you do what we all wanted to do. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, it's the guy's name was Kurt. Yeah, that should let you know right now, nigga named Kurt. But his name Kurt. And I was just like, yeah, I don't get no credit for that. He's like, yeah, you're right. He agreed with me. You don't get no credit for it. You a corny dude, but he was just a butthole that he just wasn't used to. You know, when somebody just talks trash, and you can tell they're not really used to talking trash. They don't really know what the words, what they saying. But they just doing it just to sound cool. He was just one of them, like try to. I don't know. He just he was smarter than everybody. No, yeah. Exactly that part. And just act like he's smarter than everybody, doing this to everybody, and bitch ain't even graduate. But you know, he cool now though. You know, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but we ain't end on bad terms. But I had to check him. But anyway, my point is that I ain't get no credit for that because it was Kurt. You see what I'm saying? So even though he's bigger than me, even though he was whatever, that don't matter because he's still corny Kurt. You see, so like you're not gonna get. So that's where Tank is in the same situation in my person, a similar situation. Outside of the money, you're not gonna get no credit for being Jake. It's Jake. You know, it's Jake Paul. You know, at the end of the day, it's Jake Paul.
It's a money grab for Netflix. They say it's good for boxing. I don't agree with it. I put it this way. Jake Paul and Tank fight is not good for boxing. The undercards could be good for boxing. I say that.
I agree. That's why I say it's good. That fight in particular is not. But the reason why I say it's good is because it brings more eyes to the sport, and then it also gives exposure to the people on the bottom. I mean, on the undercards. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's good as a standalone. No, I don't think it's good because the reason why. First of all, I don't think exhibitions should have any implication on boxing. Because the exhibitions is fun stuff. It's like when people do the All-Star game, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a joke. Like, I mean, sorry, not the All-Star, the celebrity All-Star game, stuff like that. Like, it's just, they're playing basketball, but it's not basketball. So they're boxing, but it's not boxing. It's like Shaq and De La Hoya when they did an exhibition. That didn't make boxing look bad to me. It's just fun or circus, whatever. But the reason why, Oster, I think you have a good point. It could look bad on boxing because they muddle the line. Like they're not making it clear that it's not boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's
Yeah,
exhibition, but I'm gonna knock this guy out. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna really
yeah.
fight. Like it's not clear. Like, you know, but that's why I think when I say it's our job as boxing enthusiasts, I think it's not our job because we didn't make the fight. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I think it's kind of our responsibility, kind of like what we were saying about you being famous, having a somewhat heightened responsibility to be a good person or a role model. I'm saying that I think it's my responsibility and others like me to make it clear that this is not boxing. This is not what Terrence Crawford and Canelo just brought us. This is not what Floyd and Manny brought us. This is not what Bivol and Beterbiev brought us. It's not what Usyk and Tyson Fury did. This is a joke. This is like a celebrity all-star game. Like this should not be compared to, as much as I like the big three. The big three is dope. I would never compare the big three to what LeBron and Steph do or Giannis and Luka do. Like that's different. It's still basketball. They're playing basketball, but it's not professional level height. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not for nothing. That's the thing. That's the whole thing about it. Got to be for something. That's what fans like. Fans like yo to be, it got to be for something. Either it's for the fans or it's for the fight. You know what I mean? But this is really, and this is the last. This is why it's crazy. But let me, I'm gonna tell you two things real quick. This is why it's crazy for Tank to say that out loud because this is the time that you really need all your fans. Yeah, this is the time at this fight is the time you really need every fan you got because this is a fight for nothing. You know what I mean? So you don't need that. But on the same token, I like when Tank answered Jake question. That's why I be saying Tank know what he's doing, man. He's not retarded. You see when he said, "Yo, Jake, man, I'm trying to help you out here, man. You shouldn't say that, man. You're not a real boxer. You don't tell people in the press." He's trying to put him on game, and he's like, "Yeah, all right." And he just sat down like, "Yeah, all right. You think I'm playing with you? You think it's a joke? You think it's a joke?" And he was like, he's trying to put him on game. I like that with Tank. That's why I said I know you thinking because you thought that one out very well. That was clear and concise. You tried to put him on game, and you said you see what I told him, right? You told him. Remember, you turned to the people and said, "Yo, I tried to tell him. All right, she know what I'm talking about, and just left it alone and let you get ahead what you running your horse in your mouth." That's why I think Tank gonna try to. I swear to God, I think Tank gonna go against the rules and try to knock this motherfucker out.
Yo,
I hope so.
I'm gonna leave. I
hope so. I swear to God. Huh?
I'm gonna slide on this one, right? I looked up the prices of what they got right now. I would be highly surprised if they sell out at these prices. Highly surprised, especially given the fight is on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll be highly surprised, bro. I'm not paying $1,200 to be.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? Not even ringside for this fight. It's $200 for the nosebleeds. $300 really.
Oh, you know they're gonna tax.
So my thing is, they need to figure something out. I know the prices is probably gonna drop the closer you get. You know what I mean? They just trying to get off the hype, trying to get people to buy tickets now. But I'll be surprised if they really sell that shit out for real.
Come on now.
Yeah, I don't think they selling this one out. And I think, to be honest with you, hey, yo, Doc, you think that, y'all think Ken, Doc, y'all think that, I think Tank, I swear to God, for some reason, I don't know why, I think Tank wanted this fight because Crawford got that big fight. Probably. I think he wanted this fight to, I swear to God, with the money and all that, because remember, they had this little thing about this money. And I just, for some reason, because I'm like, yo, Tank, I just can't really put it all the way together. And you're not too enthused about the fight anyway, so you got to be doing this for something else. Because you're not even into this shit, Tank. You didn't even know the day of the fight, man. So when you did that, that reminded me of Belonga. When Belonga goes up there with the gun, I said, "Doc, he's getting knocked out." True story. I said, "Doc, he's going to lose." Remember, I said, he's going to lose. He throwing panties. He's going to lose, Doc. For real.
My boy put out the Uzi, the AR. Hey, bro, my boy was strapped, boy. He ain't bring the straps to the ring, though. You forgot him at the press conference. He definitely got clapped.
He ain't bring no
Thomas in the back. He ain't bring him, bro. He ain't bring him. I will say this though. What you just said about what you said about Tank? What you just say before that? Oster, before that Berlanga.
I said I think that because Crawford got that big fight and then Tank,
oh yeah. So there's a rumor. So there's a rumor. Now, I mean, people are speculating. It's all speculation, but and like Thomas is here too. Thomas speculated that too, that he's doing it as a favor for PBC or Al Heyman. I don't know, man, but I feel like they always just throw that out, man. Like PBC's.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Yeah, thank you, Kendrick. But I mean, I mean, if you reach, like I said, if you look for something, man, you're gonna find it, bro. Like, so if you want to say because PBC has been giving fighters out fighting on other promotions, but I mean, who hasn't? How many? It's never Matchroom going out of business when Turkey clearly saved Matchroom. It's never Queensberry going out of business when Turkey clearly saved that. But as soon as PBC work with Turkey, it's because they're going out of business or they need saving. I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying that's where people are coming from that are saying this. But I'm just saying those that have always been knocking PBC, they're crazy. But I will say that there may be some validity to that. It could be a favor to Al Heyman. Because maybe I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So, but that's what people are saying. Tim Bradley has said it. So I'm just saying that you could be right. Maybe Tank doesn't want to do it, but I'm not sure. I think he does personally. I think it's easy. I think it's easy money. That's what I think. I mean,
yeah, on that tip, it's definitely easy money. That's why I think that that's why I think Tank gonna go against the grain. I'm telling you, I think Tank gonna try to knock him out because he's definitely gonna try to knock Tank out. So I know Tank is gonna be in there playing. Because it's an exhibition. You know what I mean? So, but remember you heard the part when Tank said, this is scripted. You remember when he said that?
Oh yeah, okay, but yeah, see,
no,
that was in regards to the. Shout out to Kendrick, man. All right, Kendrick, man, be easy, bro. God bless. I didn't even know.
No, not the fight being scripted. He was talking about the fight being scripted, but he was like, "Yo, like this is scripted." Like,
like the interaction, the people being there and asking questions. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then Jake Paul sat back and was like, "Huh?"
Okay, my bad. Go ahead, my bad.
And then when Jake Paul sat back and said, "Man, you boring, man. You boring." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You boring because Tank wasn't." He's like, "Yo, you boring, man. You boring, man. Because you normally have clowns up here." That's why I think Tank is gonna. I'm telling you, man, because it's an exhibition. It don't mean you can't get knocked out. None of it matters if you get knocked out or not inside this ring, but to the people it may matter. And that's why I think Tank going to try to knock his ass. I personally believe that. I'm telling you, man. I personally think that Tank is going to try to really, put this boy where he need to be at. Stop talking so much.
Put him in a sunken place, huh? I think that he called out all the stuff because the stuff just was wild. Like, why would Aiden Ross be there speaking? And why would this nigga place a wager? Like, why would the next ninja follow up with the question that he asked and glorify this ninja? Like, this is like all trying to give it a certain look. And Tangle's like, this is wild. I think in this moment, he finally found out, like, this is wild.
Yep, too late. So he signed up for it. You should pay attention.
Yeah, he signed up for it. Like I said, I don't know why he signed up for it. It's only speculation, but I do recall him speaking heavy on the fact that, he had this promise to Al and he gonna make do with that. So I don't know if this is part of it. It's starting to look that way. I'm thinking that he's getting more and more agitated with the antics of Jake Paul.
Yeah, I think so too. I would too.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely would. Like, it's all been racially and socially driven, and like I just want him to spark him. I don't like this fight.
Me too.
This fight is garbage, pure garbage, because there are better fights out there for Tank. Fights where he can really assert himself and then dip. But after the second one and the first one, I'm like, spark this nigga. Really spark this nigga. If he's trying to get a good look off of me, give him a good look in the ring. I'm gonna give you the best look I can give you in the ring, and I'm gonna show your ass that there's a difference between what you do and who I am. And I just leave it that way.
Before you go, also real quick, let me say something real quick. I think both of y'all just hit on it though, and I could be wrong, but this is how I feel. It's not about. For me, I think Tank took this fight. It could be because of the Al stuff too, but the way I see it is that he could make this money with somebody else, but it would be somebody that's more challenging, like a Shakur, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that this is the easiest route to take to make this much money. So that's why I say I think he took it. It's like Canelo, right? Canelo was gonna fight Jake Paul too. We can't forget that. So was AJ. It's not that AJ can't make that much money with Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, but Jake Paul's easier. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's how I perceive it. Same with Canelo. It's like Canelo can make that much money with Terrence Crawford. You see, he lost, or David Benavidez, but Jake Paul would be easier. So I think that he's the easiest. He presents the easiest way to get the most amount of money for the least amount of effort, even if you're small. You know what I'm saying? Tank has a big risk because he's smaller, but I think even with even including that, I think that this is a, you know what I'm saying? It's worth the risk more so than a Shakur or a Lamont or a T.O. if you don't plan on staying in the game anyway. So that's how I see it. But go ahead, Osa.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing. Because it don't make no sense. We can sit here and talk about till we blue. We ain't gonna figure this out. The only one gonna figure this out is when Tank open his mouth and like after the fight, like what Thing just said after the fight.
Hey, Osa, I almost got you there. I let it slide though. But go ahead. After Tank open his mouth is crazy.
Yeah. I know. I just thought about it when you cut me off. I said, "What you say?" Oh, in my head, I'm like, "What you?" I had the little data scan, and what you say? Lord have mercy.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad.
For real though, I can't put my hand on it because it could be a lot of things. What everybody's saying it's sounding like on point because we ain't got enough information. So all of it sounds on point. It could be anywhere until Tank, until we see after the fight at the least. I want to see how Tank fight him. But I think that what I really think is one of Tank's main problems right now with this press conference, Tank was never not the A side. He was never the one getting talked to crazy. You know what I mean? I don't think he know how to handle that. Like, because Tank, I think because he's looking at him like he ready to fight now. You keep talking to me like that, man. Tank is normally the one that be doing all this. He ain't normally sitting there. You know what I mean? He got the headphones on. He's all the way out of his class. So that's why I agree with Ben because he said he's doing it for Al. And it's something that he's like at a tug of war when he in there. It just looked like when Jake was, Jake had his hand in his face and all that. Tank ain't with all that. That's what Tank do. Tank put his hand in your face. He do all that. Tank ain't with all that. You got your hand in my. He ain't with all that. Touching me and stuff. I ain't never seen nobody touch Tank his shoulders and all. I ain't never see that. So I think that Tank putting up with a lot of stuff. So it falls out when he's saying that, he doing it for Al because he's putting up with a lot of shit. He's putting up with a lot of shit right now, man. For knowing Tank, that ain't Tank's style. I ain't never seen nobody, be punking Tank like that. Not punking him, but, I ain't never seen nobody punk Tank, but I ain't never see Tank let nobody do nothing either. You get what I'm saying? Even if they tried. But that's what's bugging me out.
In my opinion, I think that I see what you're saying, and I'm not saying there's no validity in that, but for me, I slightly disagree because I look at it as when, like, and this is not a good mentality, but that's how we are as humans, I think, a lot of us, right? Like, we'll tolerate stuff from people who we don't take seriously sometimes. Like for example, like, we don't know each other from. I know you enough to be able to tell a little bit where y'all come from, right? Yeah, it's like you and I'm gonna just use like you out with your mom and your grandma at a gathering and someone step on your shoe. You be like, that's all. You ain't gonna think about it. But you in the club in the hood and the brother step on your shoe and he don't even acknowledge it. You might get a little offended. So that's how I see it with Tank. Like Tank sees Rolly and Frank Martin and Hector Luis Garcia, like he sees them, and Ryan Garcia, whoever, he sees them as boxers and threats. I don't think he sees Jake Paul as like a threat. And I'm not saying he's right for that or smart for that, but that's what I feel like. I feel like he kind of sees it as, I don't know, like me, it's like you either all the way or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like either I'm gonna be like hyped up to fight you and we gonna fight, or I'm chill. Maybe there's no middle ground. Like maybe it's hard for him to do a middle ground. I know it's hard for me. Like that's why I tell you, like, I can't go and interview somebody if I don't really like them. Yeah, remember I went to there and I saw Amanda Serrano. No, it's not that I dislike Amanda Serrano, but I don't really I'm not really fond of her like that too. So I'll be faking it if I'll be faking the excitement to interview. So I didn't interview. I saw her, I could have, I just didn't, because I'm not I'm not a big fan of hers. So I feel like some people, I'm not saying Tank is like this, but I know for me it would be hard for me to like.
Yeah, because you just practice what you preach.
Right, exactly.
You just practice what you preach.
Right, and I'm not saying Tank is like that, but that's how I think. Right, that's what I think.
Yeah, but the same thing like when somebody come on, like we just said, when somebody come on your channel just to say they don't like you. So why I'm gonna interview you and I know I don't like you.
Right.
Thank you. So you practice what you preach. That's 100%.
Right.
So it shows that you got validity with shit you do. It follows you. I don't just do it for you. If I don't like you, I ain't fucking with you. I'm not going to interview you. This is my
right. It's my platform, right? Exactly. And I'm not going to be disingenuous, right? Like like I said, I acknowledge Amanda Serrano as she's she's a beast. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me, like, I don't really like gravitate towards her. Like, like I said, I wouldn't say I dislike her. I don't dislike her, but I don't like her either. So she's just another.
I don't like her enough to get an interview.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't get excited to see him. Like,
I don't like her like that.
Yeah, I don't like her like that. So I'm not even gonna try to fake it. Like I got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like Jorge Linares first. I was like, man, that's dope. That's Jorge Leonard, Nonino Donaire. That was dope. To talk to Rachel Donaire's wife, that was dope. Sugar Hill, you know, that was dope to talk to Sugar Hill, the trainer and stuff like that. Drunk ass thought he knew me. Hey, shout out to Sugar Hill, man. Sugar Hill's lit.
Hey, yo, so let me ask you a question, Doc. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
This is a tight question. It's kind of like an on-the-spot question.
Yes,
but
sir.
Look, say you went to interview somebody that you did like, right? And he's like, yo, fuck you, Doc. I don't fuck with your channel, and walk away. What would you say?
I ain't gonna lie. I probably laugh, but immediately I say F you too, and I'll probably laugh later. I said F you too. There, I don't want you to interview, but I couldn't be mad. That's how they feel, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest though, like Bozy, I was prepared for Bozy to tell me no, but Bozy actually told me yes. I was surprised. That's how I know I got something, because at least the rumors that I hear from Bozy don't do interviews. And I mean, you can even see, the only time you see Bozy do interviews is when he's on YSM, right? That's like the only person he talks to, right? So he likes to make sure that it's gonna be it's not gonna be anti-Boots or anti, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to get hit with the okie doke, which I don't blame him, because people will set you up and try to put you on the spot. But he was gonna give me an interview. It's just that the freaking venue, they called a sudden weigh-in for his fighter, so he had to go. Man, I was so mad about that, bro. I thought we got Bozy, bro. Oh man, that would have been dope. But shout out to Bob Santos. Got Bob Santos. You know, I was excited to see him because I really like Mario Barrios. You know, so that was dope. But yeah, if that happened, I wouldn't be mad, bro. I actually be flattered, kind of, because like, no, I'll be mad because you said F you. I'll be mad right then. You know what I'm saying? So I might say like F you too or something like that. But when I go back and think about it, I'm like, shit, that'd be my boy. What? That'd be my boy saw my channel, or my girl saw my channel. So. You know what I'm saying? So you know about it. So I'll smile later, bro. In that moment, I mean, if you do, you know, just off impulse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I got to work on that. I'm glad you said I got to work on that.
I say good, brother.
Yeah, I got to prepare myself for that. I appreciate it. Good looking out. Good looking out. Prepare myself for that.
So they'll definitely try you. That's what I say, boy. Is you answer that question, like, yo, you like, yeah, all right, that's cool. Love is love. Yeah. Make sure you leave a comment next time. You
feel me? Yeah, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Interact with my shit.
Yeah. How about that one? Don't just review it. Leave a comment, man.
So let me say, in response to what you said, Doc, man, I don't disagree with what you said, man. But this is the thing. If that's really the case, then that's weaker than really I expect of them. Because I think the hardest thing to do is to prepare yourself to get into that ring. I don't even think the ring or inside the ring is as difficult as the training you put yourself through.
Agreed.
So for that to be the reason why you take this fight over another fight, that is kind of weakening. This should be your last fight.
I agree with that.
So if that is true of him, indicative of this occasion, then he definitely should just go on and pack it in. But
I think he should.
I think that's not the case. I don't think he's afraid to get up in there and fight them dudes. I don't
think he's afraid either. That's not what I meant.
I'm not saying okay. I don't think it's because it's still. I'm just saying the narratives about him.
Right.
This is what's painted against him, and they painted against him like they painted against Al Heyman. The nigga never have a broadcast on Facebook Live. But
Come on now.
Is going out of business.
Come on now.
This nigga is bankrupt.
Come on now.
This nigga is in need of help.
Preaching.
Yet and still, the people we pushed against him to show how weak the PBC is and how soft his greatest fighters are, is pushing fights, their greatest entity, one of their greatest entities, on Facebook Live.
Come on now. Preaching. And for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, now you're in a way was just fought MJ Medallion on Facebook Live. I didn't complain because I like it free. You know what I'm saying? I get to see it free and whatever is convenient. But he was never charging anyway. You know, number one, it was always on ESPN. But what Thomas said is right, because as soon as PBC goes to Amazon Prime, it's because they're shutting down. This man was on Facebook Live, bitch. I don't even stream on Facebook Live. Nothing wrong with Facebook Live. I'm just saying, but he's absolutely right. If that was PBC, give me a PBC fighter that's big outside the tank. If that was David Benavidez on Facebook Live, oh boy, PBC's over with. That's what would have been the narrative. But because it's Top Rank on there, you feel me? It's just crazy, bro. Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry to interrupt, bro. I just had to expound on that.
No. You was well within your right, sir. I'm on your platform.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Matter of fact, I'm no Bob Santos. Shout out to Bob Santos because he is a fantastic interview.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying? On top of that, he's a true character person, man. He'll give you his truth.
Yes, sir.
He won't give you something that he is sparked because of emotion.
Yes,
A lot
sir.
of ninjas on these damn sites, in these damn chats, content creating off of emotion, and it's just ridiculous because we target us.
Right,
We target
right,
us as the biggest benefactor for them,
right.
and I hate that, bro. Like, but if that is true of him, and that is the case that I chose this fight because it's easier, then yeah, you gotta go on and pack it in because you're not gonna put in the work that's necessary for you to get in the ring, and that is always much harder
Come on
than
now.
getting in the ring and fighting that opponent.
Come on
And
now.
I'm still standing on it, focused, because I haven't seen him focus since the Frank Mark situation, so I don't know what happened after that and what's going on currently now. I only get bits and pieces, but not engaged in his last fight. He's not really totally engaged in this fight. So something is different.
Yeah.
And you can see it in the way that he is approached promotions. He has always sold fights. He has
Yes.
not sold these last two fights.
Agreed. Agree with that. Hey, give me one quick second, man. Shout out to my hey Candy Slim, where you been at, bruh? Long time no see, brethren. Good to see you, man. Shout out to my brother Candy Slim dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Hey, this man Candy Slim says, respectfully, fellas. Some disrespect coming. Hey, shout out. He said, respectfully, fellas. Tank knows he can bully those 135 guys. Okay, whereas Jake can slam him on his dormitory. Obviously, it's consistent with how Tank's always moved, in my opinion. So he said he's basically a front runner. Like he gonna bully who he can bully, and he can't bully the bigger guy in Jake Paul. I don't know, man. I don't know, but hey, but shout out to you. I mean, maybe. I just think it's kind of more so what Thomas said and what I said, and Oster. I just think that this is just an alternative that he could take, and he's willing to do it. And I just think that sometimes I'm not saying it's right, but I think he is tolerating more than what we usually see, and I don't like that either because it goes back to what Thomas was saying too about like the discord and especially when you think about the history of some people, how they treat other people that come from certain places and stuff like that, try to make it sound like they're less intelligent or less capable or they're doing them a favor and stuff like that. So I do hear the undertones in it, but I will say that I it's hard for me to show any sympathy towards that because this is what you signed up for, man. You got to know that this is part of the show. You know what I'm saying? So once you sign up for the show, you get what you get.
Tank, I'm telling you, man. How did he see? He understand like he understand that shit now. Like he's signing your soul. He understand that shit now because you can see it all in his face when he's sitting there. He looking like a lost puppet up there. He don't understand what's going on. Motherfucker's throat was going crazy. Or I'm telling you, he going through it right now. He like, yo, man, hold up, man. Like, I don't know if somebody told him you can't say nothing, or I don't know if he can't say nothing.
Yeah, he can't say that.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
He bugging out, man. I'm like, yo, Tank. But this is what happens when you do things. I tell you, when you do things for money, man, you take away 50-70% of your integrity. It goes right with it from the beginning of the deal. Right, and you be looking up there and looking like this. Yeah. So I don't know, man. You better get it together.
Like I said, I'm not sure of the true nature of it, but I do know that what Jake is doing. You ever heard of the term Meemaw whooping? That nigga need to give Jake an ancestral for all the things that happened to him.
That's an ancestral ass whooping. Damn.
Doc, man, I'm serious, bro. Like, if I could get in the ring and beat this nigga, I would get in the ring and beat this nigga after seeing him do that. Because all I see when he do,
hey, yo, bro, that was funny, Thomas. I ain't gonna lie.
All I see is when he's doing this stuff is the stuff that happens, the buffoonery that happens on these damn chats every day. Word. On freaking what you call that, X, because I don't really even be on that ish, but that's every day.
I agree.
It's just so much of this stuff going on. It's almost like, you know how they justify them killing us. I shouldn't say unaliving us on a regular basis like that, because they say, well, you guys are the biggest proponent of it. Black on black crime is the biggest thing, and they right. And the fact that they right makes us wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that, bro. We do that every single time. Doc, I know you've been on a lot of different platforms where I've been. You've never once heard me disrespect any of our fighters.
Nope, that's a fact. You were very consistent with that, and I appreciate
never
that. That's a
will,
fact.
bro. I never will. I rock with our fighters now. They be doing some wild stuff, and a lot of them do even more wild stuff than Tank. But Tank is the one that he is part of the black man's faction, and they have gotten us to hate us effectively in every single facet, format, industry, whatever you want to call it, dog. We do it, and I hate it. And then you get some people try to judge. Well, it's always got to be about the black-white thing. No, nigga, this is life. Tell me where it's not. Tell me where you can't go nowhere and you look a certain way. Niggas be looking at you saying, "Hey, let's get away from it. This don't look right." So, man, I'm sorry, bro. That like ancestral whooping. That's what he gotta get, bro.
Yo, and yo, he right though. Yeah, 100% right with that because this is what they do. This is what they do. I'm telling you, man. And Tank got away this long. Tank got away this long being an Afro American fighter for real. But he's light skinned. This is all. This is facts. This is facts. It's like real facts. That's why when they talk about Crawford will never fit the demeanor. He will never fit it ever. This is why he had to get it the way he get it. It got a lot to do with this, man. So
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with the. I agree with that.
At this point now, and that's why I'm agreeing with Tom. He say he want Tank. That's why I want Tank to flip the script because I know they got a script. I want Tank to go in there and flip the script and
my bad. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go finish and flip the script. Sorry, and then
I was just gonna say knock his ass out. That's it. That was good. I want to put him in the middle of the Netflix sign.
When they go, doom, it's gonna be Jake Paul head. I will say this though. I want to add. I agree with what y'all said, but I think I gotta put some. If it is indeed that, which I definitely think it has some undertones of that and some not even some overtones of that. I will say that I gotta give Tank responsibility too, because even more so because at some point we got to stop signing up for the okie doke too and the BS, you know. So I can't excuse him from being involved because you know. And I will say this too, Thomas and Oster. It's like the other day when I saw I don't remember if it was Shakur. I think it was Devin Haney. Don't quote me, but some fighter, it was either Shakur or Devin Haney, was talking about the boxing platforms. 2-4 in the building. What's good, brethren? And they were saying that how they be disingenuous, and 1 second they for you, 1 second they're not, or they be fake or violating the code or whatever the code, right? But I you know, me, and maybe because I'm in this space, you know, but I think I would think this regardless. But to me, it's a reflection of you as well. It's like, yes, people could fool you, but they can't fool you all the time. If you get fooled all the time, then you a fool. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to be judicious with where you spread your time as well. So if you want to go to the big platform that's going to sell you out or not care about you, but you're only on there because they're big, then that's on you too. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be, you also got to, it's not like all of their efforts, like because you mostly see the bigger fighters on the bigger platforms. That's not a coincidence, right? Because they're trying to benefit from it too, and they should. But at the same time, you also should be aware of what you're supporting or what you're sharing your time with as well. Because if you go and you do that and you hold yourself out or whatever, if you want to look at it like that, then you are also to blame as well. Because I don't have any big fighter on my platform, and they probably wouldn't come on my platform because I'm not big. You know what I'm saying? But when I get big, don't expect me to just cater to you because you didn't help me build my platform. And you know what I'm saying? I was big, you came over here because, you know what I'm saying, we have the audience that you're going to be exposed to or whatever it is. So it's also self-serving, you know? So now some of them do though. Some fighters do go to the smaller platforms and, you know, and spread their, and show love and support that they're evenly. And Shakur is one of them too. Like Shakur will go on different platforms too, you know? But at the same time, a lot of times they will go on platforms to where you kind of selling out by just being on the platform, to be honest. They're not really a boxing platform. You just going over there because of the following that they have established. So, you know,
and that's the way the game goes. That's right. In that game, that platform there, that simple platform, that applies to every platform in today's game because they got 100 goal posters now. You know what I mean? So either you're doing it for this or nah, you're gonna do it for that, or it's always gonna be a reason. So I say just do it. Nike said that shit 20, 30 years ago. Just do it.
Just do it. And so to tie it in, what I was saying with the Tank stuff is, which I know y'all got it, but just for everybody else, like what I was saying is that at some point, yeah, Tank is being disrespected, like with that whole kissing thing. I think that was crazy. But at the same time, Rolly Romero never did that because there was some respect there. They're both boxers. Frank Martin didn't do that. You see what I'm saying? Hector Luis Garcia or whoever else he fought didn't do that because they're boxers. Now you're in a whole nother realm, like Oster was saying. Now you kind of gotta expect the clown stuff to come from the circus. So now he got you up here with a fake AI, and y'all out here slobbing each other down, looking crazy. So
yeah,
that's kind of what you signed up for, and that's what Oster says. Some of your integrity goes with it, right? When you sign up for it,
it goes right with it. That's what you signed up for, man.
How mad could you really get? So yeah, I'm not excused. Shame on Jake Paul and everybody else who appropriates anything, and does things and tries to have some type of superiority or establish some type of inferiority for those that aren't like them. But at the same time, shame on you for subjectifying yourself to that voluntarily.
Yep. Facts. And it's all a tactic too, man, to try to get eyes on there. So, there's some people who don't feel like, we're even deserving of a platform. So they see him doing that and they're going to tie into it. Yeah, let me see whoop this ninja's tail. And then, there's going to be some people to be like, oh, hell nah. You really got to fudge him up because of that. Just like I said, get him that ancestral whipping. But that
I love that. Hey, keep doing your thing, Thomas, man, for sure, man. I love how you put that, bro.
Just because,
like that. I'm gonna use that. I'm stealing that, Thomas. I'm stealing that.
For real.
For sure. A lot of my issues out there, dog. Trust and believe. That free 99, that was me a long ass time ago, and that somebody took that and copyrighted that. But I'm gonna say this: they used to tar and feather us, pull us apart by horses, burn us.
True story.
They beat a kid, a child.
Come on now.
To beyond recognition.
Come on now.
So much so that his mama had to let him be open casket just to show how they treated and valued something that should be sacred to all people. Animal world don't do stuff like that, dog.
Come on now.
They care for the children and they care for the young. I mean, there's some that have to hunt by nature because they are and the predator. But for the most part, when they're not, they don't even do stuff like that unless they are perceived a threat. There was a child that got beat that way.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? We've gotten given, what was it? Gonorrhea? No, it wasn't. It was chlamydia. What did they give us?
In the community.
Just to see how it would tear the body apart.
Yep.
For the ninjas, it was vitamins. It was vaccination.
Yep.
I don't like getting vaccines to this day.
Come on now, talk to him.
You know what I'm saying? This is what they did systematically and systemically to us. And look at what we do. We go perpetuate this stuff. I can't stand, bro, to my core. Like I said, dog, there was people who celebrated that ninja Bud Crawford's performance by shitting on Mayweather and David.
That was bro, crazy.
That shit had me so heated.
Make no sense.
Like, we do this. And he did sign up for this. He is accountable for this. He has to endure this, but endure it with some sense of pride for your freaking folk, so that when you go in that ring, you carry yourself like a champion outside. You be respectful. You take that. But when it's time to step in that ring, that should go out the window. Smack that ass.
I like how you put that.
My bad. I won't even say that for the pause because we in a pause-worthy society.
No, we ain't even pausing. No, I mean that. It's like remember when Mike Tyson. My bad. Go ahead. You on the roll. I didn't mean to cut y'all. Go ahead.
No. Remember when Mike Tyson what? Because I still
remember when Mike Tyson was like, "I'm a F you till you love me." Hey, you could think he paused it, but if you were real, you know exactly what he's talking about.
That was one of the first disrespect. Jake Paul did a lot of.
But what he's saying is that a lot of people, like in this society, people say, "Oh, you got to pause it." No, what he's saying is that he's metaphorically gonna make you his bitch. He say he's gonna F you till you love me. He's not making a sexual threat to him for real, but he's just letting you know emphatically that's how he gonna treat you. He gonna bend you over. That's what he say. That's what he gonna treat you like his bitch. That's what he says. But go ahead. So yeah.
But that anime treatment.
You
like
feel
I'm saying, you gonna sing that song. You go up in that booth and you sing that song like I told you to. God dang it. Get in that ring, you gonna dance like I told you to. But shit,
Hey, y'all crazy, man.
And
Y'all
funny
crazy,
thing
man.
too is that on top of what Thomas said, because Jake Paul to me did 3 disrespectful things, very disrespectful. How you say and so and how you say it, Thomas just now?
Oh, the
But he did
ancestral
3
ass
disrespectful
whooping.
things. Yeah. So this is why he deserves it, because number one,
Hey, yo.
you disrespect one of our champions, and this is back to our culture thing when it comes to boxing, because I believe boxing is a culturally political sport. It's always been. So now, you disrespect Tyson when you came in with that, I want to fight Tyson and beat him and all that. That was disrespect to the whole culture, to the black culture and to the boxing culture. And then you got up there and praise clear out races right in the interview. You straight up praised this dude and had a moment. You disrespectful. And then you got your hand in another one of our champions' face. That's why I want Gervonta to go blink on him. I want him to go through all this, like Thomas said. I want him to do all this and blink when he get in the ring.
Man, I hope
Just
so.
blink
I
on him
think
and
so,
knock.
man.
I don't care
I hope y'all right,
what they
man.
got going on. I don't care what kind of agreement y'all got. Put him right in the middle of the Netflix sign. Right? They're gonna have a big Netflix sign in the middle of the ring. That's where Jake need to be at with an aerial vision of him. You know what I mean? We're gonna make you a meme. We'll make you a meme. That's where he need to be at. Make sure everybody watch Netflix. See this? You see this boy right here with the blonde hair and the mohawk? Yeah, he right here in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
True
shout out
story,
to
though.
Tech. Tech said Mike used to cry before fight. And shout out to Tech and Dub. They both seconded what you said. Thomas, he said the Tuskegee experiments. Yep, that's a fact. Yep.
Yeah,
Mike used to
experience.
cry. Yeah, fact. Mike used to cry before fights because he was already sad about what he was going to do to his opponent. That is wild. Shout out to Mike. Hey, Tufo said, yeah, man, that's a fact, Tufo. I'm a Bud supporter. This is what Tay said. But the energy he had for Errol's family, he should have had for the racist Mexicans that was going for Canelo. Shout out to Tay. Yeah, I think like I think Oster just said it already. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's combat sports too. I'm definitely not justifying it. What I will say about Bud is that at some point it is I don't want to say it. Let me think how I can phrase this. At some point, not us, but like I think it's more of like the networks, and I'm not just trying to cast blame, but the networks and the people that allow people to act this way need to be accountable. Like, for example, like when I'm in a fighting, like if I'm in DAZN and watching like a fight that's broadcasted on YouTube on DAZN's channel or Matchroom's channel, or like they be letting, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes they'll moderate some stuff, but some stuff, I'm not just talking about towards blacks, I'm talking about discrimination towards blacks, browns, whites, males, females, Christian, whatever it is. They will let some stuff slide. I mean, they will clap some stuff and like ban somebody, but the majority they let it slide because they prioritize viewership. So what I'm saying with boxing, the Mexican fan base is huge. So at some point to expect Bud to fight everybody, you know, he's fighting his opponent. He can't fight everybody. But I think with the Errol Spence one, I don't want to confuse that because unless you're talking about something else, with the Errol Spence and his cousin in particular, they were exchanging barbs personally face to face, you know. So I think that's different. I don't think that Bud would tolerate somebody saying anything crazy to him in that type of setting. So I don't want to confuse that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say, oh, he should have went at everybody that's talking crazy on Twitter, but then he went at the guy that was talking crazy to him in his face. So that was a different situation. And let's be fair too. When T.O. said something crazy, he did approach T.O. about it, right? So we do got to give him credit for that. So I think that's like, I get what you're saying, but I think it's slightly different. You know, like anybody that's in your face, I don't see Bud or Errol or anybody else tolerating no nonsense like that if you're doing it in a place where they could, in their vicinity. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give. I mean, it's like Caleb Plant too.
Mexican fans cried that night.
Right.
There was niggas really watching the fight crying that
facts.
Canelo was losing, man. So
facts.
You know,
still crying now.
He did what he was supposed to do, and I think that you know Tank need to go in there and do what he has to do now because you know. This is being used. This is being a tactic that they're putting in play. And you did sign up for this. So you take this ish. But when you get in the ring, like I said, dog, you know how when the Native American people go in that hot box, they start seeing visions of the things in the past and the things to come. That shouldn't meet in the ring. The visions of past need to meet in the ring, dog, so that we could see the outcome of free at last, all that ass whooping up on his ass. Bro, like
He gonna free that
my
ass.
soul,
He
bro.
gonna free
Like,
that
yo,
ancestral whooping on his ass. Free at last.
hey man, thank God Almighty.
I swear to God,
Hey, bro,
if he
y'all
do that,
funny,
if he do
bro.
that, yo, if he do that, my first video gonna have free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we free at last, baby. And you will see Jake Paul in the middle of the Netflix sign. You heard me? Yeah.
Yo, hey man, y'all
And
funny as hell,
that won't
bro.
be like absolving this, but I could understand now a little bit more. If he get up in there and do that, bro, I could understand it just a little bit more.
But Tom, this is what I said though. That's one of my regrets for not being at the press conference. That's the only. I'm glad I didn't go, but I wish I was there to not only correct the name thing with the mispronunciation, the intentional mispronunciation of the name, but also to ask him. I wanted to remind him about what he said when Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul. He said that, hey, you know, somebody needs to knock out Jake Paul for doing that to Mike Tyson. And so I was gonna remind him, say, hey man, are you doing this because you want to, you know what I'm saying, enact revenge or get some recompense for what Jake Paul did to Mike Tyson? I was going to remind him of that. And I thought somebody would have asked him that. Nobody asked him. I was kind of disappointed in that, but, you know, I thought that would have been a great question.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, bro.
Because if he does that, my bad, took Titan. If he does that, then I'm cool with this fight.
Nah, I feel you.
Yeah, so I agree with what you said. Yeah, if he does that, then I'm like, okay, bet, I understand.
It would be worth for you going there to say that, bro. The only reason why I wouldn't want you to go there, because clearly he wasn't in the right space of mind. There was a brother by the name of James Bell. You know him as the boxing source.
Mm-hmm.
He went up there and asked a question. He asked a very poignant question, too.
True.
Like, yo, many people say these are the face of boxing. Explain to you why. Mm-hmm. And because he's not there mentally right now, you could tell he really understands what's going on, and you know he has to be here type of thing. It looks like that because that answer was that. That's not a Tank answer, bro.
Yeah, what do you say? I'm just somebody that box. What do you say again?
I'm just somebody that box, fam.
Yeah, I'm just somebody that box.
That's somebody who knows, bro. He knows that, brother. That brother always there, big up in him, dog. So you could tell. And then I went to his show and he said, dog, I wish he could have just said what was really going on. So there is something at play.
Right.
That we have no knowledge of, that few people do. But the people who don't will spinish. Like, I don't big up nobody, but there was a certain content creator who has been getting attacked. And he finally responded to the people. But, you know, it was like, yo, people have been waiting for a moment to say stuff that hasn't been true.
Come on now.
To be true.
Yep.
And it's been people
true.
saying stuff that isn't true. And when it don't come to fruition, it was just subject to change.
Yeah,
like, y'all ninjas hate this Mickey Fricky so much.
Yep, that's true.
You hate Al, and more importantly, you hate Al Heyman so much. And what does Al Heyman did? Al Heyman has made sure that Adrian Broner can walk around a day and still flash cash when he ain't in the very best of situations.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? He's had people who literally, and I'll say this with respect, don't rock with us as a people. Name their firstborn son after him. You know what I'm saying? This is a dude who got people financially stable because he has helped them invest the money he has helped make.
Yeah, Al Heyman, that's a fact. You never hear no fighters talk bad about Al Heyman, but that's not good enough for people. You never hear from, and that's just not just the American fighters. You know what I'm saying? It's all the fighters that work with him, from Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? To gosh dang, obviously David Benavidez, Caleb Plant. You never hear any of them say anything bad. Gary Antar Russell, Gervonta. You never hear them say. Go ahead, Ozer.
No. I'm never gonna cut you off. This is your platform. Good.
Oh no, it's true. I'm good. That's y'all got the point I was saying. Appreciate it.
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna say this to further cement that part. I live in California. I'm surrounded by these folks that I'm talking about, and I know how they hate us. On a not all of them, but on a core level, they really don't like us.
Generally speaking,
and let us be with one of their women. They really can't stand us, bro. They're naming their children after him. So you can't tell me this man is bad. This man, you can't tell me he don't know business. This nigga has put on some of the biggest and best concert in the music industry of all time. Michael Jackson is a product of his knowledge. He don't know it. He ain't been kicking these white boys' asses at their own game.
Come on now.
Yeah. They don't like him, so they get out there and have people that are bots to go out there and push narratives, and we
that
follow
part
along.
That part. They be straight bots. Straight. I'm convinced, bro. That's why I try my best, like, not to, you know, I'm relatively new, you know, I've been here for a while now, but still relatively new in the totality of it. But it's like, I'm trying my best not even to respond. Like, when I see somebody, especially if I see the same name multiple times, but I bet I see what time it is. You just a bot. You just a bot, bro. You ain't got no genuine thought. You just try.
Hey, respectfully, that's why you have moderators. We're supposed to handle that. You're not. Your integrity is always supposed to be intact. Your professionalism is also supposed to be at display, on the full on display. You're not supposed to do that unless it becomes something that you really necessarily have to stop back and say, oh wait, hold up, I got to address this.
Right.
But that's why we supposed to have people who have, you know, just ain't willy nilly abusive with the wrench. Be out there and judicious with the stuff, dog.
Right.
Because it be people that dog. If you hating on Tank, you hating on what's her name, but you're just hating, you're not being disrespectful. Have at it.
Yeah, facts. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I don't mind. Just don't be disrespectful. I agree with that.
You want to go at Bud? Have at it. But when you start getting disrespectful, nigga, you're getting clipped. And if you say something silly, you won't come here again. I swear.
Yeah,
and you hardly ever see me time people out for more than X amount of time, or give them the wish them to the cornfield. I hardly wish them to the cornfield.
Right.
But when they do something egregious, nigga, you're gone. You're never coming back here. You better come. You gotta go, bro.
Go. Well, fellas, man, I'm about to go ahead and slide too. Speaking of that, man, I'm freaking hungry. I gotta get me some food, man.
Man, go and get that cornfield, dog. Get
you feel me? No pizza, man. I'm gonna get me some maybe some cereal time. Figure out what I'm gonna really cook.
Hey, for sure, man. Well, in the meantime, in between time, man, always a pleasure to be up here, talk this boxing with you, man. Continue to do you, man.
You too,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out my brother Oster. Shout out to KD the Great, man. I wanted to come up here and talk to my brother right there. But hey, shout out to y'all in the chat too, bro. I swear, bro. Whenever I say something, I am a joker at nature, dog. I believe it's always a cure in laughing and smiling and having a good time.
Amen. Talk to him.
But I'm not a hater at all. There's not 0 ounce of hate in my blood, dog. And you know it does boil when I see us hate us, dog. Because if we can't love us, who the fudge will? And on
Come
that
on
note,
now. All right, my brother. Shout out to my brother Oster, man. I appreciate you, bro. Hey, shout out to my brother Oster. I just scrolling up in the chat. I almost missed that, man. Dropping the hello yellow $10 on the fellow with that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to Oster, man. Appreciate it, bro. I didn't see that. I just have to be scrolling. Not as good. Shout out to my brother Oster, man. He says we rocking. You the best internet friend, man. I appreciate it, bro. You made it to my internet friend zone. Man. He said, thank you, everything you do for me as a speaker my mind. However, the whole channel is good people, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for what you do for me too, man. Like I said, I love interacting with you, man, and conversing with you, man. For real, bro. Like, it makes me think about things differently. Because a lot of times, you know, we do get in our own bubble and we think that our perspective is, I'm not gonna say we all think we're always right, but a lot of times we think our perspective is not flawed, I guess, you know. And so it's always good to hear from other people, hear their perspective, make you look at it another way, another angle. You know what I'm saying? I might be looking from the side. I might need to look from an above view or a below view or in front view or behind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you for the $10 as well.
Always still believe. I see. I'm old school, so I always still believe in the team. You know, the team is always
absolutely.
You feel me? A team is always better than a solo thing. Solo things is good, but when you got a team with you and they all on the same page, you know what I mean? That's like being solo because everybody on the same page. That's like being solo, but you got a whole team with you.
Come on
you know
now.
What I'm saying?
Come on now.
And that's what I think Thomas was saying just now too. That's how you do. So that's why you put people on game. When you like, I tell people all the time, man. It's enough bullshit people out here. So if you meet somebody that's cool and aware, because you know real could be fake. I ain't even went into that real. I'm into aware people that's aware of the real that's fake. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel in this room. So that's what I feel in this room because we can go at it, this and that, but we understand that we men and where we come from, we don't get disrespectful. We don't do none of that. We just sit there, we talk it through and whatever it is, because opinion is heavy, you know, but they like assholes too.
Yep. Yeah,
but they like assholes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And they be full of everybody got them and they be full of that stuff. You right about that.
I'm trying to tell you. So that's what it is, though, man. And good speaking, man. Will you get back on later on, or?
I don't know. I'll probably drop a video. Yeah, I probably won't be. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. Good Lord willing.
Yo, I think I sent you. I think I did a boxing presentation. I think I sent it to you on either Discord or it's out there. I sent it to Irony. He looked at it. He's like, "Yo, that was good."
Yeah, let me check it out. Hey, and speaking of that too, man. Shout out to Oster, man. Y'all check him out, man. Oster in the chat. Oster 40, right? Yep. Oster 40, man. Hit him with a follow, man. Dropping content out there, man. We need more good content creators. You feel me? So shout out to Oster, man.
Without a doubt, Doc. Good looking, player.
Already, man. I appreciate you, bro. And God bless, man. Thanks for pulling
God
up.
bless.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt.
Shout out to my brother Oster, man. More people could call in, like my brother Dub is saying, man. Don't be scared to call in, man. We like to talk about boxing. You don't have to have the same opinion as me or anybody else on the panel. We just have a discussion, man. It might get a little intense, but it's never disrespectful, like my brother Oster just articulated. So you shouldn't be worried about a little passion, man. It means that we are just enjoying ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? We American, man. Americans' blood run hot sometime. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, so that's all that is, man. We just be talking and some of us be preaching. Shout out to Kendrick, shout out to Thomas, shout out to Oster, man, giving their perspectives on this fight and stuff like that. So, and other things too, boxing, but mostly boxing. But shout out to everybody pulling up. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Also, let's go ahead and hit up this these super chats that were dropped, the love that was shown, man. Shout out to Tech Them Dad for the renewal of the subscription, man. Renewal of his membership at the Boxing Talk graduate level. Shout out to Tech Them Dad. Shout out to Dub for the gifted membership. Shout out to Tech Them Dad for the gifted membership. Shout out to Dub for the $2. Shout out to Katie Slim for the $5. Shout out to Oster for the $10, man. I appreciate that for real. Y'all keep us going and growing. And that's what we need to do, man. We trying to get, what is it? We have 5 more days of this month, basically. We trying to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, baby. I know that seems like an impossible task, but we at 3,700. You know what I'm saying? We just got to put in the work. We could do it, and then we trying to get 10K by the end of the year. You know what I'm talking about? I know that seems like it's a lot, but that's nothing to God. You know what I'm saying? It might seem like a lot to us, but it's nothing to God, man. What we think is a lot is nothing to the God we serve. So I appreciate y'all rocking as always. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Don't forget to smack that like button and check out the Patreon as well, man. The Patreon link is there under every video. So go check out the Patreon as well, man. It's how you help to keep us going and growing, you know, in this boxing streets, man. Shout out to Ty and shout out to Smoochie for being the first 2 members on the Patreon. I appreciate it, man. All it takes is $1. You know what I'm saying? That helps contribute to the growth of the channel and help me get out places like run these events and get these interviews and, you know, get better equipment, all that good stuff to help keep improving the stream. Speaking of Ty, look at Ty right there. Shout out to my brother Ty in the building. What did I miss in my Drake voice? You ain't missed much, man. We talked about a whole lot. You ain't missed much, but you missed a lot at the same time, man. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.